10:01, good morning from the Circa Sports at the Mint Kentucky Downs studio in Franklin, Kentucky. I'm Lucas Panzica. Titans minicamp is officially over, and the team heads into a break. Next time we hear from Robert Saleh and Titans players will be with training camp getting started in July. The Men's College World Series National Championship matchup is set after UNC rolled past West Virginia and Oklahoma beat Georgia on Wednesday. The best-of-3 series in Omaha begins on Saturday. The U.S. Open is underway at Shinnecock Hills. Sam Burns and Rory McIlroy topped the leaderboard early on at 2 under. The U.S. men's national team plays its second group stage matchup of the World Cup Friday against Australia in Seattle. Kickoff is at 2 p.m. Christian Pulisic listed as day-to-day with a calf injury. For all your foundation repairs and waterproofing needs, visit USSTN.com. Breaking news at once on your home for the Titans and Vols. This is 104.5 The Zone. Good morning. Welcome in to the Mint Gaming Hall in Franklin, Kentucky, where we are broadcasting live from the Circa Sportsbook Studios. And if you are watching on the F&M Bank Chat, 104.5 The Zone TV, YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, and Twitch, you can see the sea of screens behind us. A Vegas-style sportsbook, your spot to come and watch all the soccer action this weekend, the Men's College World Series action, the U.S. Open Cup action. So much for you to take in and maybe place a few wagers on if you do indeed make the quick trek up I-65. Incredibly easy drive, and we are always happy to be up here. Lucas and Robert with you. Kirby is here. Buck is not here because he struggles with time management. We are fueled by Hattie B's Hot Chicken, your go-to to fuel your watch party this weekend. The Knicks are about to flood the streets of New York with their championship parade. And there's a lot going on, Robert, as this summer of sports rages on.
And you talked about coming in here. Oh, excuse me, Lord.
Now go ahead and clear it.
That was gross. You talked about coming in here and placing a wager. If you do that from the beginning of June to July 19th and make a wager of $50 or more on soccer over the retail counter, you can't go to the kiosk. You got to go to the retail counter to be entered into a raffle to win 2 tickets to see Nashville take on Miami with a soccer experience on August 15th. All you got to do is come up here, place a bet, go to the desk, tell them I want 50 on the good old US of A, and you'll be entered into that raffle.
Not a bad way to go and watch Lionel Messi take on the best team in Major League Soccer so far this season.
Because those tickets are high as hell.
Nashville SC. They certainly will be after this World Cup if Argentina makes a deep run. Like when Messi first arrived, the tickets were out of control, and then it settled a little bit because we got accustomed to him being here and he started to play more games. But with his performance for Argentina the other day, if that continues on in this World Cup, you can bet those will skyrocket once again. So make sure you get up here, place that wager, enter for a chance to see the best team in MLS take on the best player in the history of soccer in Inter Miami. So where to begin? I mean, the Knicks are celebrating their NBA championship in New York. The U.S. Open is underway. Men's College World Series set. The World Cup rages on. Every team has officially played its first group stage game. And by the way, the U.S. right there at the top among the best performances by any team in the World Cup. We can pretend like we learned something from Titans minicamp over the last couple of days. We won't hear from them again until training camp as they break essentially for the summer. Where to begin on this Thursday out at Circa Sportsbook? Did I say it's Friday? It feels like a Friday.
It does feel like a Friday. It's definitely a Friday for us. We are off tomorrow to celebrate Juneteenth. Excited. You got a big weekend. It's Megan's birthday.
Happy birthday to my wonderful fiance, Megan. Zach, do we have Stephen A. Smith back there to wish Megan, my future wife, a happy 30th birthday? I don't know if we've asked Zach to do the Stephen A. thing.
A happy birthday to you. I don't care. Good luck.
Thank you. We do care. We care very much.
We do care.
Yes, Megan will be up here this weekend. We will be at a USA watch party tomorrow. Nashville SC is hosting an official watch party out at Centennial Park, which should be a great setup to watch the USA take on Australia and try to sustain their performance against Paraguay against the Socceroos. You were not a fan of the nickname, the Socceroos.
No, it sounds like Dunkaroos, which is one of the greatest inventions known to mankind, and I feel like they're just Australians. I don't know what it is. Everyone has an affinity for the way they sound. I just find it annoying. It's like the world's redneck. Like,
Australia?
Yes.
100%.
Like everyone has to sound like a certain way, and I know it sounds tough coming from me, who sounds like the way I do. Like I should be the world's redneck, but they just get on my nerves, man. I don't know. It's always like, who are you talking like that? Say no. Say no. Not nar. Just say no.
Apologies to the Australians in the audience. Actually, no, we don't apologize.
Yeah, we don't like y'all.
Because the U.S. is going to get in there, and they're going to do the same thing that they did to Paraguay.
Yep.
And take 3 points.
Yep.
And continue this momentum as one of the hottest teams at the early onset of this FIFA World Cup.
I mean, what's the best thing Australia's ever given the world? Lord of the Rings? Nope. That was New Zealand.
Outback Steakhouse?
I feel like Texas Roadhouse clears Outback, though.
Agreed.
Kangaroo Jack?
Kangaroo Jack's pretty good. Steve Irwin.
The world giveth and the world taketh away.
Yes, indeed. As we mentioned, the Knicks have begun their championship parade. It looks like we're watching the live coverage currently on ESPN. The topic on First Take, will stars be pressured to take less money now after Jalen Brunson famously took over $100 million less than he was eligible for when signing his measly 4-year, $156.6 million extension? How honorable of Jalen Brunson to take pennies, Robert. Pennies to support his team's effort to win a championship.
Well, did you see the post game with his dad, where his dad was getting interviewed next to him, and they were like, "You are the greatest acquisition in NBA history." He's like, "No, he's not. Shaq was. Shaq was the greatest acquisition in NBA history." Later, they're like, "You are the greatest Knick of all time," and he's like, "Hold on, no, he's not." Not even close.
Who is?
I can't remember.
Ewing?
What he said.
Bernie?
Maybe it was Bernie. I can't remember who he said, but he did not say his son. And the look on his face through those ski goggles that people like to wear at these parties because they don't like champagne in their eyes now. Weenies, grow up. You just won a championship. Let your eyes sting. You can just see him looking at his dad like, really?
You got to do that now?
You don't think that maybe I'm the best Knick of all time?
Well, this may be the best championship parade of all time. Do you have any iconic championship parade moments that come to mind? Like if I ask you about a championship parade moment.
They would be all Super Bowl moments, but yeah, Tom Brady being blackout after the Buccaneers.
Iconic.
Almost throwing the trophy into the water.
Avocado tequila.
Jason Kelsey in the genie costume after the Eagles won, and he did the big speech about how they were so doubted.
Yep.
Lane Johnson, maybe this was a separate Super Bowl memory, Lane Johnson wearing that dog mask. I think that was after the Nick Foles Super Bowl, where they were big dogs and everybody started wearing the dog masks in the back.
I think of Nikola Jokic when famously after the Nuggets won the NBA championship, and he basically learned that he has to stick around for the parade at the postgame presser, and he was dejected.
He just wanted to go back home or ride his horses.
Exactly. And then at the parade, when he's speaking to the mass of humanity in Denver, he gets up there and he says, I like parade. And everybody goes bonkers. Everybody goes insane. Yeah, Jokic. That's what I definitely think of.
Okay, I get it.
So I think this has potential to be right up there, just with the scenes in New York. Think about the chaos in New York City, man, over the last week. Like, thank God the Knicks won the NBA Finals in Game 5 in San Antonio over the weekend, as opposed to a Game 6 back at Madison Square Garden, because there was World Cup action at MetLife, France versus Senegal on Tuesday. There was Yankees-Red Sox on Tuesday. And if the Knicks had lost to the Spurs, if the Spurs had hung on to that lead, there also would have been Game 6 on Tuesday in New York. It would have been Armageddon. You wouldn't have been able to do anything in New York City. So it's a good thing that the Knicks won it when they did. It's going to be chaos in the streets in New York.
Do they do this for the World Cup? Like if a World Cup team, do they have a parade when they go back home?
Oh, yeah.
Are there any World Cup parade moments? Like, I feel like if you're going to another country, like we've already seen the antics of like Congo. Who's the dude that just stands like a statue the whole time? I love that guy.
Yeah, they have one fan that stands for the entire game, all 2 hours, straight with one hand in the air, replicating a statue in DR Congo of a prime minister of Congo. Yeah, it's insane. But I can't think of a World Cup one specifically, but there was a famous moment where Real Madrid, I believe, won the Champions League, and Sergio Ramos, Real Madrid defender, on the parade through the streets of Madrid, holding the trophy up, dropped the trophy in front of the bus, and the bus ran over the trophy. So that's a classic moment.
What did they do? Did it break it? Did it, like, did
no,
it?
I think it got banged up a little bit, but they got it back up there and continued the party. So that is an iconic moment.
That's almost Tom Brady-esque.
But no, you do have parades. You know, when Argentina won Buenos Aires, they had the championship parade, and it's just insane. But you also have celebrations in the streets, basically in every city of that country, where it's just masses of humanities, people standing on cars with horns and flags, and it's incredible. So, go ahead, talk now.
What's up? How are we?
We've talked for 10 minutes. It's your turn.
Okay. Great to be back at Circa.
We love it here.
What have y'all been talking about? I'm surely not. I know that's not the case.
The Knicks parade, the World Cup. Grover believes in the United States. You know, see, and I think this is real pandering. If you know anything about Sesame Street, you know that Grover is always seeking the he wants the center of attention, right?
Yeah.
That's what that's why he did all the antics. He's kind of like Gonzo.
Relatable.
In the Muppets. He wants some just to be clamored for. So when he saw that Elmo got poo-pooed on so hard for being like, oh, I hope everyone wins, what does Grover do? Grover comes right out and goes, the USA! Come on, dude. Sesame Street needs a warden, somebody to keep all of these goobers straight.
No, but you saw what they did to Elmo.
Oh, yeah. They beheaded him.
They put his head on a spike.
They beheaded Elmo.
They paraded him through the streets of New York like it was a scene out of Game of Thrones.
Oh,
They called him a traitor. It said traitor wrapped around the the decapitated Elmo doll, because of course Elmo at some point during the finals tweeted, I guess. Elmo has his own Twitter account. He tweeted, Elmo just hopes both teams have a good time.
Yeah. Yep.
So they beheaded him.
Descended upon him. Now, I
don't
noticed,
think there's a better fan base. Oh, let me not say this because they just threw eggs at Wemby. I don't think there's a fan base that celebrates more, or that I've seen a fan base celebrate a single team more in an individual championship season than New York City and the Knicks.
Yeah, I agree.
This Knicks team.
Yeah.
Right?
Maybe Philly.
Philly, I think we've had some version of this discussion where that's probably pretty close. But even Philadelphia, man, you don't have people doing like projector watch parties on the side of buildings in neighborhoods in New York like you do in Philadelphia. You don't have, I think, that the sheer size of the reaction to that Knicks basketball team. Because if they win it again, like say Brunson, maybe not next year. I don't know what the way too early title odds are.
It'll never feel as good as this.
Right? Yeah. It's not 53 years is a ridiculous drought for that city that has, I don't know, that they carry themselves with championship standards, but it's really just a baseball team. Everybody else has won, but it's been a long, long time since they've mattered in a real way.
I've noticed Elmo has been quiet about the U.S.
I was
and the
literally
World Cup.
just searching.
Well, yeah, they killed him.
He's dead now.
They killed him.
We had somebody call in the other day. I can't remember what the topic was, but he was like, excuse me, my son's in the back of the car watching Elmo videos. And we could hear in the background Elmo losing his mind over Rocco. And I couldn't even focus on, on the question that he was asking. But V-Love has tweeted at us, by the way, about the best things Australia has given us, which we were debating as the U.S. takes on Australia tomorrow. He says,
what did we land on? It had to be Steve Irwin.
That is exactly what we landed on.
Oh, really?
V-Love says music. He says Tame Impala, Rufus DeSalle, Flume. Also actors. Great actors out of Australia.
He didn't mention AC/DC.
We did not mention AC/DC.
AC/DC's Australian?
Akadaka. That's what they call it down there. Akadaka.
No, that's not true.
I swear.
What?
It is. Australians call it Akadaka.
They are, like, I know
don't believe
that
you.
Angus Young is Scottish, but at a very young age, his family moved to Australia.
Oh.
So they are Scottish slash Australian. Heath Ledger,
Why Australia?
because the U.S. plays Australia tomorrow.
Oh, hell yeah.
In Australia, this is from Copilot because I'm not allowed to use Chrome on the work computer. In Australia, AC/DC is colloquially known as Akadaka.
Amazing.
Read it right there, Akadaka.
Listen, you will understand why I don't trust you after the last time I seen you. It's been a couple of days since we parted ways at the golf course. You tell Lucas what you did to me?
What did I do to you?
You want to talk about this in a public setting, or is this best saved for off air?
I don't remember what I said.
That's
or
the problem.
did to you.
He had that.
Oh,
at what point did you commandeer the golf cart?
Oh,
At what point did you commandeer the golf cart?
probably like 8 o'clock that day.
A.M. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh yeah. A.M.
And so when you said, let's take a lap around the golf course while nobody was on the golf course between flights at the golf event, which was a lot of fun, by the way. We appreciate Nashville Golf and Athletic Club for having everybody out and hope everybody had a good time participating in the golf tournament. Looked like a great time had by all.
That was like at 1:20.
Yeah, so right between flights, you said, let's take a lap, neglecting to mention that you had been riding around on this golf cart since 8 a.m., and there are several hills
Yeah.
at the Nashville Golf and Athletic Club. So when you had to then push the golf cart back halfway through the course.
I just wish you would have got off
Yeah, I wasn't going to do that.
and helped me push.
No. You were going to push me back.
Yeah. So we got
I'm not
stuck.
seeing a problem.
We got stuck and had to be helped back because I had been commandeering the golf cart all
We
day.
had somebody from the golf course playing bumper cars with us, pushing us back in the golf cart, using their golf cart to push our golf cart forward.
I will blame AJ Hughes because I requested a new cart and it was never delivered. So, not my fault, not my problem. I was doing Big Boss Burt business. That's Quad B right there.
615-737-1045, the number if you want to jump in. You are welcome to do so. This is our last day on this week because we will be off for the Juneteenth holiday tomorrow. So we will have a lot of conversations about the upcoming weekend in sports. As Lucas mentioned, the U.S. plays Australia tomorrow, so I'm sure we'll have some level of discourse about that. Jeff Fisher is on the show today, so we'll look forward to talking to Jeff about what's going on with the Titans and the Nashville Cats after he had a really I haven't talked to him anyway since Mac's memorial service, and I thought him and Jonathan Hutton did an excellent job up there giving us some memories to enjoy. So it's a lot of fun stuff on the show today. Looking forward to having you guys for the next 3 hours. I'm Buck Rising. It's 104.5 The Zone.
It may be summer, but there is so much going on this weekend. The international soccer, the Men's College World Series, the U.S. Open, whatever it is, as you sit back and enjoy, make sure you are fueling your watch party with a big old bucket of Hattie B's hot chicken. By the way, for you folks in East Nashville, the Hattie B's is opening in a matter of days right there on Gallatin. In fact, we will be out there live along with some of our fellow colleagues at 104.5 The Zone, broadcasting from the brand new East Nashville Hattie B's location on Wednesday. Hope you'll come by and see us. Before you do, download the Hattie B's app. You can skip the line, start to build up those rewards, and enjoy the best hot chicken in the world. Go to Hattie B's today, and we'll see you at Hattie B's in East on Wednesday.
Welcome back to the show, fueled by Hattie B's Hot Chicken, the best hot chicken in the world. Titans off-season program is pretty much over. We've got like a family barbecue today I keep calling it Ascension St. Thomas Sports Park. I know that's not what it's called anymore, but it's
what is it? Vanderbilt
Vanderbilt
Hospital for Puppets or something? For
Vanderbilt something. I don't know. It makes it feel like it's Vanderbilt's football facility as opposed to the Titans football facility. Either way, Titans practice facility. They've got a final day of team building, family activities, and before everybody breaks for the summer. And we've got a really long layoff. I don't know if you guys caught this with Saleh yesterday, but we're talking about almost 50 days before they're back for training camp because the Super Bowl is on Valentine's Day this year, which I'm sure America's significant others are going to really appreciate. And then everybody will suffer for on the 15th when duties are neglected and things are missed for the sake of football. But because they're pushing back everything in the calendar, training camp starts later. We're talking about 50 days before they get back on the practice field. And the joint camp situation, they're going to take full advantage of that, it sounds like, with the 3 teams that they're going to see in the preseason. But we have a lot of time before those things take place. A lot of trial and error out there on the practice field this week. We talked to the coordinators about it. You guys played Dable yesterday. And what was your takeaways from Brian Dable's press conference?
Some very astute observations.
You didn't listen to it. You went to eat, didn't you? What'd you eat?
We were definitely in there.
Yeah. Doing something. A lot of smart conversation from Brian Dable about the learning curve in the offense. If you did listen to the press conference yesterday. A lot of good stuff about Anthony Hill and Keldrick Falk, obviously. A couple of defensive rookies who are out there on the field for the Titans. And you can hear from defensive coordinator Gus Bradley right now.
I think from the time we started till, Thursday, it's like 72 days or something. I know we took that week, but it's been a good process. Pete Carroll always talked to me. He said, Gus, every opportunity you can to learn the learner, take advantage of it. And I'd say that's probably a good way to think of it now is that we've had 72 days to learn the learner and those guys to learn us. So it's been a good process.
You haven't had Jeff really out here, and I know there's no pads, but what can he bring out for these 2 days that you haven't seen?
Well, I think first of all, he's done a great job communicating. You try to learn people and learn how they tick and how they go about. His communication's been phenomenal. His learning of the defense, but you're right. I mean, when they're going 3/4 speed, it is a little bit challenging. You want to see more, but you can pick up on some things. So just, in conversations and things like that. So, but I think, Jeff is a guy that he sets the standard and the pace of a defense. The standard is there, the pace of how we want to go about doing things, and so you just feel that when he's in the building.
Where have you made your most improvements in those 72 days?
You're teaching a whole new system, and some of these guys, when you get a rookie, they come in, they learn from what they've had in college. But some of these guys, like a Cody Barton, say, for example, he's been in multiple systems. So it's retraining him. Not that the systems he was in was bad or, you judge it that way. It's just different. So I think from the time, like a guy for Cody, for example, from when we first started to where he is now, you can really put together a tape saying, boy, he's really getting a better feel for how the system should operate. And I think that's one example, but that's what you're seeing from a lot of the players. It's just exactly what are we stressing, what's important, how we think it should look. I think we're getting closer on the same page.
Expand on that linebacker position with Cedric Gray, a high tackle guy last year. He's obviously going to be asked to do some different things. How have you seen him adjust to what you guys are asking him to do, especially from a coverage perspective?
Well, that's what I've said. The conversation I've had with him is just what we hope by the end of OTAs and minicamp, you know exactly what is going to be asked of you and where you need your body at and where you need to be mindset-wise to perform at a high level. If we can get that accomplished through this period of time and leading into training camp, you're saying, you know what, over the summer, the 40 days that he has, okay, I know exactly what's asked of me. I know where I need to be at mentally, physically, then that's a home run. And I think that's where he's been at.
Are you going to see a more complete secondary for the first time? Maybe
Right.
the challenge came.
Yeah, it's I think Alante and Flott, both those guys, what they bring is experience. They've had some experience, although they're not long in the tooth or anything like that. They've played quite a few games, and they know what it should look like. So to have those guys, in the secondary with them, they work together, right? The rush and the cover, you've heard that many times, but it's so true. And I think those guys, in training camp, hopefully will get a feel for how our rush is going to play it. They'll know, adjust accordingly, but they definitely have a presence when they're in the room.
Well, the holdover guys that you have that were already here, that were in a 3-4 system, who has the biggest change of their responsibility? Is it the D-line? Is it the linebackers?
That's a great question. They all do, but I would say probably a little bit more in the D-line. Both are good systems, right? Both have been successful. But what you're asking the D-line is a little bit different. Now, even in 3-4 scheme, once it gets to third down, it's, very similar styles. But it's the first and second down style that we're asking our D-line to play with. That's probably, the biggest challenge, is just getting that point across exactly how we want them to play.
You've got somebody like Femi who you don't have much college tape at position, you don't have much pro tape, and he's not out here for these. How do you go about figuring out who he is and what he can do?
Well, you know what? You've seen just enough, maybe, to give us an idea in the training camp. D-line, and at this period of time, it is really a fundamental period for them, these 72 days that we talked about, where they go out there and get a feel for their execution, how they get off, their explosiveness, things like that. So you're trying to build a picture of what you think they look like or what they possibly could look like. And I think, it's been unfortunate that he hasn't been, but you do see it enough going back and watch tape. You say, all right, we have an idea. But it's clear, obviously the more reps you get with somebody.
Picture, what are they?
Well, last year he was asked to drop. Now it's more of a mindset. Well, you may drop on occasion, but for the most part, it's just a change in mentality of how we're approaching it. So he's done a good job with that. So with the D-line, it's always hard, just like O-line. Until you get them in pads, until you get those types of practices, week, 2 weeks into it, you'll have a better idea.
Some of your rookies, Marshall, maybe Hill, done so far?
I really like Jackie Marshall. Again, with the limited reps, and we're going 3/4 speed, but you can tell he is explosive. He is explosive, and he's got a really good mindset about him. Aggressive, attacking style mindset. So you're seeing that carry over. So, what we've seen thus far with him, I think he's done a good job. He's really caught our attention.
I'm sorry.
Go ahead.
What about Hill,
With
too?
Hill specifically.
Yeah, he's done a great job, too. We're challenging him in a lot of aspects, from his body style, to his size, to his speed, to things like that. And I just talked to him yesterday about that and just said, boy, looking from when you came in, even though it's a short period of time, you've seen his body fat, get better. You've seen just how he handles himself, his size, his things like that. So he's made a big jump in that. And he's getting a lot of reps now. And we keep track of points and things like that, how they're doing, picking things up to kind of give us a little bit of a barometer where he's at. And he's done a nice job. So I think that'll be a cool thing to see in training camp, just how far he progresses.
To follow up on that, what's the learning curve like for him in the meeting room?
Challenging, because he's going to be asked to do a lot. Now, you see some positions, hey, he plays Mike, he plays Will, he plays Sam. Let's throw a lot at him. And the more you can do, we've kind of, with him and some of the other guys, have just kind of said, let's just learn Mike, and get a good grasp of that. Now, you might see him in training camp get a little bit, that might branch off a little bit just to see. But right now, we really kind of got him centrally located at that spot. And he's done a good job. Really, if you can do that, what did we say earlier? There's not much difference between the Mike and the Will, but the best communicator is going to play Mike. It's kind of how we're looking at it. And that's what we saw in the draft, too, was he really is a good communicator, and that is what's showing up.
What's the main thing that John Franklin Myers does so well?
Really brings a lot of the toughness. Solomon Thomas, same way. That mentality of just tough, gritty, straining type player. Plays outside, can play inside, so he's got some versatility to it. But he brings that mindset too. I imagine, a guy like Jeffrey will enjoy playing next June because very similar in how they attack things and how they approach things.
Talk a lot about the all gas, no brakes, if at all. When you got somebody like Kevin Winston who's out there kind of hitting in practice with no pads on, is that something you try and talk him out of, or is that?
Well, I didn't say that. No, he is. I think he is so athletic. He's so long. I mean, there's another guy that I think we're excited to see him put the pads on, and because that position, the safety spot, they are required to play with a physical brand, and he has that mindset. So, I mean, you'll see him. We'd like to hope that all of our players start at one point every day. They just constantly get better. But the reality is they'll have good days, then they'll have a challenging day, a good day, a challenging day, and that's with everybody. But for him specifically, I've seen that where it's been challenging days early, but now he's starting to stack up good day after good day after good day, and you're seeing a long athletic player start to really get a grasp of what we're asking him.
That is Titans defensive coordinator Gus Bradley at the podium speaking with media earlier this week. A lot of good insights there about Anthony Hill and the progress that he's making, how they're basically finding they are finding a home base for all of these young dudes to let them try and get great at one thing before they start to branch them out, even though Anthony Hill has versatility, right? We talked about his pass rush production in college being a benefit, but right now they just want him to be able to key and diagnose, understand what he's seeing, let his eyes do the heavy lifting there, and then, the athletic talents that they have, they can find different ways to deploy him as he gets more comfortable in things. Carnell Tate, I don't know if did you guys carry any of the player availability? At some point, honestly, I think it's worth hearing a little bit more from Jeff Simmons because there was a lot of ground covered yesterday on contract stuff. Obviously, that's up in the air. Jeff Simmons' deployment, he was thrilled with the idea of how they're going to use him in this defense. And you'll hear a little later from Greg Cosell, who was here for the last couple days. Barely saw Greg. I guess they had him in the facility from morning to night for the most part, and he learned a lot. It's one of the better Cam Ward episodes of the podcast that we've done with Greg, specifically about the arm angle stuff. Did you guys talk about that Gunnar Helm highlight they put out? The throw that had everybody all hot and bothered about him looking a little bit Mahomesy.
We played the Cam Ward presser, but we did not talk about the throw.
The throw had captivated a fair amount of fans and people in the NFL because that's all that you really have this time of year is team and media highlights of things that may or may not be applicable on the actual football field. But Greg kind of diagnosing why Cam, really diagnosing why Cam gets so many balls batted down at the line of scrimmage because of the way that he's trying to change those arm angles. And sometimes it works, and it works to great effect, and sometimes it doesn't. And that's something he's very cognizant of, something he's very much working on. His posture. Did you hear Alec Iamatter talk about posture, the importance of posture? This week, Lucas over here talking about he learned absolutely nothing during mandatory minicamp of the offseason program. You didn't pay attention to anything.
What's the number one thing you learned?
A lot. I mean, I honestly would say that the number one thing I learned was from Greg today, talking about the Cam stuff, and we'll play that for you guys at 11:20. I just had never taken into account a wide receiver's posture, the impact that plays on his ability to run the kind of routes that they're asking him to run. Alec talked, he's got a whole coach for that specifically in the offseason.
Sure.
That's outside. What do you mean, sure? Like you knew that wide receivers had posture coaches.
Of course I knew that. Everybody knows that.
Yeah, of course.
What did that teach you about the Titans this year?
Well, I don't know.
Okay.
Sure. I'm not worried about the Titans this year, but like you are dismissive of something that there is a significant amount of appetite in the sports world for. I know you are all in on the World Cup, bud, but like the football stuff is got its place in the sports landscape for a reason. I mean, if you're going out there to learn something about the 2026 Titans regular season in June, I think you're doing it incorrectly. I think some people are trying to do that. And I understand why fans might want to do that, but that's not actually the way that it works. So, yeah, it's good to distinguish what you're saying there about what did you learn versus what did that teach you about the upcoming football season. But I wouldn't be so dismissive of that.
Do you want to know what I learned? I think that Gus Bradley would be an excellent father-in-law. He would be the kind of dude that when you're over there, he's like, "Oh, what are you doing there? Good to see you, buddy." And he'll like take you in and go to the bar cart and make you a little drink. And
He talks a lot of smack out there, which I enjoy.
Your father-in-law will be in town this weekend,
He
right?
will be in town this weekend. Excited for Haas to come into town.
What a name.
We are taking him to Luogo on Saturday, and hopefully he wants to do a little day party. And we can enjoy Megan's birthday as well.
Oh, that's right. Well, it's the dog's birthday. And then Megan gets to be a part of the dog's birthday, right?
It's a co-birthday.
Isn't that how it works? I mean, not based on the invite that Blue sent us. You got to stop letting Blue make these invites.
They're both on the invite.
Yeah, but did you see what he did to Megan on this? What is the tension between your roommate and your fiance? I mean, we've talked about this love triangle you've been in. At some point, you're going to have to move out of this frat house you're living in, which I know is on the horizon, and be an adult and create some separation between you and Blue, because I feel like he gets defensive every time Megan comes in town.
They're both on the invite. It's a co-birthday.
You're doing the right thing, buddy.
The way that he's not answering that question tells me everything I need to know about the love triangle situation.
Megan's 30th, and it's the dog's Sweet 16.
Which is really like what? What's the actual dog years? What is actual dog?
I don't know. They changed the rules on that.
I know. We need to figure out the real ones. Oh, okay.
They changed the rules on dog years?
Yes. So the first year of a medium-sized dog's life is approximately 15 human years. The second is equal to 9 human years. And after the second year, each dog year is equivalent to roughly 5 dog years. So 15, 9, 24, so that's 2 years. And then he's going to be 16, so that's 14 times 5. That's 80? 70? 70. 70 plus 20. This is Case's 94th birthday.
Still going strong.
Well, very happy birthday. Did you wish, or did Stephen A. wish Megan a happy birthday?
Robert did in a Stephen A. voice, yes.
Oh, no. Like, well, or like problematic?
Well, no, it was very well. Slightly problematic.
We'll get an SEC stat of the day coming up next.
One SEC team remains in the College World Series as the National Championship Series gets underway on Saturday. Best of three. It's Oklahoma and it's North Carolina. It's SEC versus ACC. The favorite out of the SEC to go all the way was Georgia. They fall to Oklahoma in the semifinals. There was a very cool moment in this game with Kyle and Colby Branch. They are brothers that play for different college baseball teams. Kyle plays for Oklahoma. Colby plays for Georgia. Now, Kyle is a second baseman for the Sooners. And Colby, when this game was completely out of hand, and it was 11-3 at this point, bottom of the ninth inning, Georgia at the plate, and Colby Branch steps up for his last career at-bat, and he went yard. He cranked a homer. It was a solo shot to make it 11-4. Very, very cool moment as his brother Kyle is the first to run over and hug him despite being a member of the opposing team.
That's awesome.
Very cool college baseball moment yesterday in Omaha as Georgia was done and dusted, but the Branch brothers that have been a big story out of the SEC baseball season got that moment to cap it. And now Oklahoma is the one that will try to move on and finish the job and make it 7 straight years of SEC national champions on the baseball diamond.
Well, like we said, we had to let you have something. You can't have football anymore. You don't have basketball anymore. They're showing highlights of both of these games right now on, I think we're watching MLB TV in the studio out here at Circa. And Robert, remind me, you don't root for North Carolina because you got kicked out of a frat party once?
I vehemently hate them.
Right. Okay.
They're the bane of my existence.
So does your hatred for North Carolina and Chapel Hill and D-bag frat behavior associated with it outweigh your hatred or your enjoyment of poo-pooing the SEC and their great downfall as the mightiest sports conference that ever there was?
I'm willing to put my hate aside for North Carolina if they would win this, because it would make the second season in a row that ECU fell at the hands of the inevitable national champion. So if we're going to lose, I'd rather us lose to the people that win it all. And if they take down the SEC in the meantime, then so be it.
Okay.
So be it. They'll expect some of us in the wreckage, brother.
So who will you be rooting for in this national championship series?
I hope there's an asteroid that strikes the field.
It's like the reverse Elmo. I hope both teams lose and get enveloped into the face of the earth.
Yes, I hope the earth opens up and swallows them both whole. And Omaha with it. And also that terrible restaurant with the shots. Have you guys seen anything about the shot stuff?
So it's called Rocco's. For people that don't know anything about the College World Series, why, speaking of Elmo?
That's his arch enemy, Rocco. He hates Rocco.
Oh, the Rocco. Okay. The College World Series, there's a bar in Omaha called Rocco's, and they put all of the College World Series fan base and alumni that are competing in the College World Series, they put them against each other essentially in a shot challenge competition. And there's also, I can't remember how they split the percentages up, because there's like a percentage that goes back to the university. There's a percentage that Rocco's, the bar, gets for the Jell-O shots. And then I think there's a percentage that goes to charity. So it's a competition that's been going on for a long time. And you know, really, I've never heard any bad publicity around the shot challenge or this bar until apparently Pat McAfee had a bad experience during West Virginia's time in the College World Series. I guess they were rude or dismissive to him in some form or fashion.
He tried to put $50,000 down to order.
Pat did.
Yes, the Jell-O shots are $5. He wanted.
So do you do that like? Because in my head, if I remember seeing this correctly, you know, depending on what your credit card is, you may not have a limit on your credit card. I don't know how many people have a $50,000 limit on their credit card.
I think he wrote them a check.
Okay, so if you write a check, I assume that's how most of that gets done, right?
Wait a minute.
So, and they turned him down, though. They would not take his money.
So he tried to buy $50,000 worth of Jell-O shots.
Yeah, because, again, it goes back. There's a percentage that goes to charity. There's a percentage that goes to the institution. So it's like an alumni competition, essentially, who can take as many Jell-O shots, but also who can raise as much money for their program.
I knew there was a competition. LSU always crushes whenever they're in Omaha. But
so it's like it's you know, it's not like an NIL thing necessarily. You're not raising that much money, but if you get somebody like Pat involved, or I'm sure LSU isn't the raising or the inferior chicken guy, isn't his alma mater LSU, if I'm not mistaken.
Something like that.
Anyway.
Yeah.
So yeah, McAfee had a bad experience. Apparently, the guy that runs Rocco's thinks they're bigger than the College World Series itself, which was disappointing to hear. Because it seems like everybody has a good time with it. And also, apparently, the Jell-O shots are pre-made now, which I guess if you're accommodating like a certain amount of volume, you have to do that.
Yeah, that makes sense.
But yeah, pre-made Jell-O shots kind of gross.
It's lame. It's lame. The whole thing's lame. Y'all are lame.
What do you mean, y'all? Lucas didn't has anything to do with
He
it.
participated when Tennessee went. I bet he participated.
You
probably
did not go to the College World Series.
No.
No, but you probably slipped him a little $5 or something.
Well, I'm a very charitable person.
Yeah, I bet. I bet.
So we'll see if the ACC or the SEC. You said 7 straight years of an SEC program
If
winning the
Oklahoma-
College World Series.
If Oklahoma wins, it will be.
When,
I mean, we have
hopefully,
Robert.
Wheezy and a woozy and a wazzy.
If they don't have college baseball, they have nothing.
Well,
It's true at this point.
I mean, I don't know what you want, man. You guys just recognize what did Eminem say? But when your run is over, admit that it's at its end. Sometimes you just guys get to run the roost for a little bit, and then a bigger chicken comes in. All of a sudden, they bring a Rhodesian red back in, and you got a rabbit running the chicken coop. That's all that matters. Sometimes things had to change hands. You had a good run, buddy. It's time for the big dogs to step up. Big boys play elsewhere now.
It's true.
They play over here, Carolina,
In North Carolina?
in a North Kakalaki state,
Sound like an Australian trying to say ACDC.
Akadaka state.
You're going to hear from Jeffrey Simmons for the first time this offseason at the podium coming up next.
It is 10:59. Good morning from the Circus Sports at the Mint Kentucky Downs studio in Franklin, Kentucky. I'm Lucas Panzica. Titans minicamp is over, and as the team heads into a break, the next time we hear from Robert Saleh and Titans players will be with training camp getting started. The Men's College World Series National Championship matchup is set after UNC rolled past West Virginia. Oklahoma beat Georgia on Wednesday. The best of 3 series between UNC and OU begins on Saturday. The U.S. Open is underway at Shinnecock Hills. At the top of the leaderboard, Ludwig Aberg at 2 under through 6. The U.S. men's national team plays its second group stage fixture of the World Cup Friday against Australia in Seattle. Kickoff is at 2. Christian Pulisic day-to-day with a calf injury. For all your foundation repairs and waterproofing needs, visit USSTN.com. Breaking news at once on your home for the Titans and Vols. This is 104.5 The Zone.
Welcome back to the show on this Thursday. Feels like a Friday for us at least because we are off tomorrow. So it'll be our last day hanging out with you this week. We appreciate you guys spending your time with us. Lucas, Robert, me, Kirby is here. We are at Circus Sportsbook in Franklin, Kentucky. Always good to be up here. A great place to watch all the World Cup, all the sports action that's going on this weekend. Huge sports weekend. As we have World Cup action, Lucas, right now on the TV. South Africa and is it Czechia? Czechia. Okay.
Is that the old Czechoslovakia?
Czechoslovakia was broken up and it became split off into a bunch of different countries. I think it was Yugoslavia before that. It was Czech Republic. Czech Republic basically said, no, we are Czechia.
I feel like an entire generation of human beings is going to learn geography just based on the World Cup, which I appreciate. You can have fun and learn at the same time. So we've got South Africa and Czechia.
Down in Atlanta.
Up first at not Mercedes-Benz Stadium this week. It is Atlanta Stadium. I see all these Europeans getting to take in American stadiums, whether that be college or pro football, and being, I've been to Wembley and Tottenham now. I'm sure there are several other historically impressive and also architecturally impressive stadiums elsewhere in Europe, right? But, American stadiums, they tend to do things to the nines, especially a lot of new stadiums here in the last couple of years. I'm sure in no small part due to the fact that we were hosting the World Cup in places like AT&T and Mercedes-Benz and all these other places would be hosting World Cup matches. But to see the Europeans make a big deal out of MetLife, which is famously hated by everyone in the New York metropolitan area.
I hate that the final is there.
Is it really?
Yeah.
Oh, that stinks.
I guess they want to play the final in the mystique of New York, the number one market in the world.
It's in a swamp.
Exactly, yeah. It sucks. I mean,
where Tony Soprano used to bury the bodies is where the Giants and Jets Stadium is.
In 1994, when the U.S. hosted, the final was in the Rose Bowl. Like, you talk about picturesque, iconic, just a beautiful setting for a World Cup final, but MetLife is just kind of yeah. But you imagine walking into Jerry World for the first time. Like I have been
impressive.
One of those people.
Yeah,
you walk in, you look
impressive.
around like, my goodness, this place is stunning.
Jerryville,
yeah. One of the broadcasters in the Japan-Netherlands game referred to it as Jerryville, which I thought was very, very funny.
By the way, these Japanese fans getting interviewed man on the street style.
It's electric. They're fantastic. I mean, and it's nice because NFL stadiums, for all their grandeur and, the architectural accomplishments that they are, as we've talked about, can be the most sanitized, sort of stuffy environments, right? A lot of times for these games. And these fan bases are bringing that electricity and passion to these incredible, incredible landmarks. So it has been fun to watch those worlds colliding.
So, World Cup action underway, and many screens, many great spots for you to take it in and have some fun, maybe place a friendly wager on the World Cup action that's going on throughout the course of the day. Lucas mentioned that Australia and the U.S. will play tomorrow. There's a watch party. Weather looks like it's going to hold for the most part, right? You're going?
We'll be at Centennial Park at Nashville SC's hosting its official watch party, and at some point we'll get Robert's thoughts on that game because I know he has many.
I am really excited, but what I'm more excited about than that, since we're at Circa, from June 1st to July 19th, you make a wager of $50 or more on soccer over the retail counter to be entered into a raffle to win 2 tickets to Nashville versus Miami soccer experience on August 15th. Super easy, $50, and I'll tell you who to place it on. The US of A, baby. Because we're not worried about Australia or those dingoes or cuckleberries or any of those, what are them big kookaburra, any of those kookaburra birds sitting in the tall oak tree. We're not worried about none of that. None of them birds that sting with poison or scorpions or kangaroos or crocodiles
a lot of those.
Or dingoes or I already said dingoes. Anything else they got going on? There's shrimp on the Barbie. That's not a knife. This is a knife. We're not worried about any of that.
They're not worried about us either, it seems. Have you seen the videos of the Australians marching through the streets and their chants, their victory chants? Who did they put in the bin? Who got put in the bin? Who was the first round opponent for Australia or the first?
Oh, Turkey.
So they put
Turkey.
Okay, whatever. So they're marching down the streets. They're chanting "Turkey's in the bin." The bin being the trash can, the rubbish bin, as the Australians and our friends, I guess, if you want.
Check you off the mark in the 6th minute. This may be a bloodbath.
I asked Lucas yesterday what the highest scoring games in World Cup history were.
Well, 7-1 for Germany the other day has to be up there, right?
Well, they did that to Brazil back in 2014 too, unfortunately. But no, the highest scoring of all time was a 7-5 match in 1954, I believe.
Yeah, no, they're
not 54. Excuse me, 56.
So the Australians.
No, 54.
The Australians did away with Turkey. And we're chanting about them putting in the bin, and they were riling up the U.S. fans. I think, was that match in New York?
I can't remember.
Anyway, wherever they were marching down the streets, they were making chants about Donald Trump, which I'm sure a certain segment of the population would not appreciate. But I think it should be a fun atmosphere between the U.S. and Australia. Looking forward to seeing how that plays out tomorrow. Jeffrey Simmons is somebody that we have been looking forward to seeing on the practice field. Now, apparently Jeff had his elbow cleaned up in the offseason. He said yesterday that he has not been able to completely straighten out his elbow or his arms for like a year because of an issue that he had 2 years ago with the elbow that he finally got rectified. So not even 100% Jeff Simmons was out there being the best interior defensive lineman in football last year. Now he's getting into a system with Robert Saleh that's going to maximize his skill set, he feels, even further. So Jeff talked to the media yesterday on the final on-field day of mandatory minicamp, and here's the Titans defensive tackle.
So, Jeff, you've had this offseason to kind of learn what's going on with these new coaches, this new scheme. What do you like about it, and what do you think will help you maybe improve your game?
It's kind of my first year playing in like this attack defense. You know, a lot of in the last couple of years, you know, it's been kind of just playing true technique right at the line of scrimmage, holding on to a double team. I remember my first time going out there on the field with White Cotton, and I'm used to playing doubles. Like, you know, when I feel a double team, I'm sitting at the line of scrimmage, I'm kind of holding my ground, and you know, he showed it in the meeting room, said, this is not how we play. You know, this is not how this defense play. We attacking up the field. And, you know, that's my game. I like to play on the other side of the line of scrimmage, you know, but at that time, you know, when I know it's run, you know, you kind of change the technique. But with this particular defense, you know, if you playing at the line of scrimmage, you're not playing this style of defense. You know, I love this type of defense, to be able to be on the other side of the line of scrimmage each and every play. You know, is demand you to make plays. You know, the way we, I should say, is demand you to make sure you're in shape, because everything is get off. Your first two steps is the main key in the defense, because no matter what, you know, you have to play on the other side of the line of scrimmage. So, you know, I love this philosophy. I think it'll help me make a lot more plays in the backfield, and it'll help this team for sure.
Did you maybe say on a podcast that you had your elbow cleaned up, and if so, I know it didn't stop you from playing well, but how much nicer will it be to have that back to maybe close to 100%?
I mean, I've been dealing with, you know, not just get too much into that, but I mean, I've been dealing, that's the reason why I've been wearing the brace. I mean, probably, 2.5 years to where I wasn't even able to straighten out my right arm. So to be able to get that cleaned up, and I was like one of the things where, I feel good. I don't think it's going to be a big difference from last year because, like I said, or the years in the past because, I played with the brace. I'm going to play with the brace this year, who knows? But at the same time, like I said, I feel great. My body feels good. So, like I said, I'll be ready to go when we get back for training camp and hopefully this year continue to keep getting better as a player.
What's focus from a body standpoint coming in this year? Are you going to try anything different? Have you tried anything different?
No, I'm kind of, I never got off my plan. I think the biggest thing, even when you're talking about, changing your body and changing, coming into last season, it was just like how consistent I could be with my plan. No matter if it's the off season, the time I was off, man, I had my nutrition trying to find people for the Pro Bowl out there and things of that nature, like chefs and whatnot. So it's just how consistent I can be with the plan that she gave me. Of course, we could tweak a couple of things here and there, but, you see, White Cotton get out there an individual, and he expects us to run to the ball. And, my goal into coming to this season is just to make sure I'm in the best shape of my life. Because, I know it was a lot of talks of, if you could play more than 4 snaps in the defense, that means you're not playing the right way. But, I try to each and every day I wake up is how can I separate myself from everyone else? How can I, be the best version of myself? How can I be better than yesterday? And, I kind of have that mindset that I'm not everyone else. I'm a different breed, and my mindset is I want to play more than 4 snaps in a row. Is it going to happen? Probably not, because that's the rotation that they follow. But in my mindset, when I come back for training camp, I want to be in the best shape of my life to be able to have that mindset. Nah, coach, I could go 4 more or whatever it may be. So, like I said, I think that's kind of my mindset. Not so much of changing my body, no more of my body, because I never got off that routine. But now it's just, how can I be ready to go and be in the best shape of my life? Jeff, your versatility, that's something, you look at last year, I think it was like 3 sacks from the outside. Robert Saleh said he wants these guys to focus more on just like one particular spot. What are your thoughts on possibly not being able to maximize your ability to move up and down the line? Man, I don't think that's limiting me. I think when you can focus on one thing, I think what he's talking about is just, because we talk about it with the team, we talk about it with our coaches. Find that one thing you could get better at and focus on. I think that's the biggest thing. But when you talking about being on the football field, it's all like we had to play one time where Jake went inside. And, he switched with a D tackle. D tackle went on the edge. So I don't think it's so much of, he's saying, oh, I'm not going to be able to get on the edge. I think it's one of the things to where I don't need to be focused on the edge right now. In his defense, a lot of the things we're doing is going to be probably left and right. So what's my best rush on the left side out of the 3 technique and the 2, vice versa to the right side. So I know I'm an interior rusher. I know I play 3 technique, I play the shade. So, that's where my focus is for sure. But, I'm not so focused on getting on the edge. I know my best ball is going to be I'm an interior rusher, or I'm an interior player. So that's my focus for sure.
When it comes to your contract, are you wanting to get something done before the start of training camp, or do you look at how the money's exploded and say, hey, let's let some other guys sign before I sign so I can get an even better deal?
I think the biggest thing is since I got to Tennessee, this organization been nothing but good to me. This organization we've been on the same page since I got here. So when it comes down to the contract, I let everything plays out. Like I said, since I got here, I don't think we have me in the front office, me and Miss Amy, then everyone been on the same page. And whenever it's time to talk contract and whenever it's time to get that stuff out the way, I know my agent, Todd, them, and Van, them, they're going to work together to make sure it's done the right way. One thing, when it come down to that contract, we know how messy it could get. And that's not what I'm looking for, especially going on year 8. Like I said, this organization been nothing but good to me. So I'm not, so focused on the contract right now. Like I said, my goal this offseason is let me go work my tail off and get ready for training camp.
That freedom to be more aggressive that you talked about, you guys will do less kind of containing. You're less concerned with anything that holds you back.
I wouldn't say, because even when you contain it, I don't think it's just holding you back. Yes, do you have to do something out of the normal other than just getting off the ball, playing on the other line of scrimmage? But at the same time, it's the reason why sometimes we have to contain. It's one of them things to where, are you a selfish player? You're not going to get out there. So it's not like I didn't like containing, but do I like this defense to where, for the most part, they're going to know where we at and they're going to know how we play? Hell yeah. Like, this is the type of defense I want to be in. I want to just play on the other side of the line of scrimmage. When you play in a defense like this, when you got guys up front like JFM, Jermaine, Solomon, we can win a lot of football games up front, and that's going to be our motto. That's our motto in our defensive line room. This team goes the way our front goes. So, and we got to live by it. We got to practice like it. We got to play like it, and that's how we're going to win football games.
Sal said this morning that you two haven't had the conversation about the snap counts personally. Is that something that you have to talk to him about, or is it just you're going to let your play kind of show him what you can do?
We haven't talked about it. I think, the biggest thing is we could talk about, phase 3 mini camp. Football is played with pads on. And like I said, with the way I train, the way I try to get my body ready, I'll show him that, maybe I could go 6 plays instead of the 4 that they're talking about. But like I said, that's my mindset, but I'm not going to. I played 4 snaps and he subbed me out. I'm not going to be over there, why in the hell you taking me out or things in that nature, because that's a distraction. I think, like I said, maybe second-year player Jeff, maybe I would have been pissed off. But I think when you, like I said, in this style of defense, running out the stack, every day, you see Solomon probably getting 2,700 yards a day. That's because he's running out the stack and things of that nature. So that's the standard. And so, whenever that time comes, we'll see. But like I said, we got a long way for that.
Jeff, doing the individual work the last 2 days, is that you more catching up to speed, getting back in shape and rhythm, or is that more being careful of that elbow or something else?
We just worked out a plan. We had a great plan coming in, just to stay out of the team reps and, just work on things on the side, of course. But like I said, it was me and Coach Sala was on the same page of that, and we worked out a plan for me to be able to still get my work in. I kind of regretted wearing the helmet out there on the side like that, but especially today. But no, it was good just to be able to even be out here warming up with the guys and then get my work in on the side. But it was a plan that we talked about, of course. But I want to say so much of trying to nurture the elbow. Like I said, I got the elbow. We're back in February. Everything is feeling good, but like I said, come training camp, I'll be out there ready to roll with the guys.
Jeff, what do you view as a successful season for yourself in 26?
I haven't thought so much about the season. I feel like it's like that hurdle down the road. You're looking ahead, you may trip over that one. So I really haven't thought so much about the season. My biggest goal, especially coming off last year, I would say, I want to win. The biggest goal is to win. I think that's the only thing I can speak on right now outside of, like I said, I don't want to look too far ahead. I have what we got after tomorrow, I think it's 47 days. How can I be the best Jeffrey when I leave here after tomorrow to come back July 28th ready to roll? So, like I said, I'm not so focused on the season just yet. Maybe after training camp, you can ask me that question, I have a better idea.
Thanks, Jeff.
Yep.
That is Titans defensive lineman Jeffrey Simmons yesterday at the podium. Final day of on-field work for the Titans of this offseason. 615-737-1045, the number if you want to jump in. You're going to hear Greg Cosell's analysis of Cam Ward coming up next.
Welcome back to the show as we broadcast live from the Mint Gaming Hall, Circa Sportsbook. Great spot to come and watch the soccer action this weekend. U.S. Open Cup, Men's College World Series, on and on and on. Play some wagers while you're here. Enjoy some food and drinks and take it in on the best viewing experience in the Middle Tennessee area. And though we're in Franklin, Kentucky, it basically is the Middle Tennessee area. Just a quick jaunt up I-65 against the traffic, 25 minutes, and you are here. And you are not missing a moment. Greg Cosell has been in attendance at Titans minicamp. We go now to the latest edition of The Install.
Welcome into The Install with Greg Cosell of NFL Films. Now, technically, minicamp is still going on. It's like a team barbecue today. But for the most part, the on-field activities for the offseason, for the Titans, and basically every other NFL team this week conclude. Greg, you were here in Nashville the last couple of days. Sounds like you had a very, very insightful visit.
Yeah, the thing for me is I'm not watching every single play. It's mini camp, but you get an opportunity to talk to coaches. I'm always trying to learn more and more, trying to understand processes, how they go about doing things. Did have a chance to speak to the head coach, Coach Solid. Did have a chance to speak to Coach Dable. Spent some time with Mike Borgonski. Just a number of other coaches, and it's interesting when you watch minicamp, because I get that question whether I go to training camp or minicamp, over the years with different teams. Well, how do they look? Yeah. And I'm not so much about how they look, because it's not that, for me, it's not that kind of thing, But the one thing I did really take away, and there's a number of things, but on the defensive side of the ball, and granted, they have a brand new defensive system. They're going to be relearning a lot of different things in how they play, and that's always a work in progress. So I'm not going to sit here and suggest, Buck, that week one, this is going to be, a top 5 defense in the league. We have no idea. But they have to relearn a lot of things. But the one thing that really struck me, and I had this conversation with, I forget who, either one of the coaches or one of the personnel execs, is they could have a really strong D-line rotation. They've got a lot of players on the D-line, and, a good many of them have had success in the league. And then a number of others, they hope, like Oladejo, obviously, they'd like to see him. And I'm sure they have a defined role for him. I got a chance to stand right near Keldrick Falk, and let me tell you something, that is a large human being.
He's full size.
And he could probably gain 10 or 15 pounds and still be the same guy.
Well, it was funny, Greg, yesterday, just because we do press conferences, obviously, this time of year. The locker room's not open for the audience that may not know that, so they bring the guys up to the podium after practice. So we had Jeff first, and then they brought Keldrick up, and just to see the physical differences between even those two players, Jeff in year, I want to say 8, for Simmons, and Keldrick, who's, you don't think of somebody that size as having baby fat still a little bit, but by NFL standards, you're like, oh, not only is this player got the traits and the physical attributes that excite a defensive line coach and an evaluator like Mike Borgonzi, they're going to be able to do a lot with him once they get him in a more regimented strength and conditioning program.
And, and understanding the nature of this defense and what Coach Saleh is trying to implement, he wants to really rely on a 4-man D-line pass rush. They play a lot of zone behind it. They play what's called vision with the underneath zone defenders, not pattern matching, which has become more prevalent in the league. But they play vision, and a lot of the coaches that play vision believe that, and by vision, I mean that your eyes are on the quarterback, and your head's not on a swivel looking to match routes. Your eyes are on the quarterback, so they're in one place. And all the coaches that play vision tend to believe that allows guys to play faster because they're not necessarily focused on multiple things. But the bottom line is that puts most of the pressure on your D-line. Your D-line becomes the pass rush group. And for someone like Jeff Simmons, I don't know Jeff Simmons. You've obviously talked to him, but I would imagine he's excited by that kind of change because now he feels, I'm sure, like, hey, you know what? Particularly when you get into, pure pass situations, man, I'm just going to get the quarterback.
Yeah.
And that's the way it's being taught is, hey, I'm going to get the quarterback. And like I said, you look at some of the D-line group, and teams now, the way the NFL is, with the way offenses play, with more no huddle, more tempo, it's hard just to play with 4 or 5 D linemen. You really need to play with 8 or 9 to have a really good rotation. Again, it's still, mid to late June. So, like I said, we're not making predictions. But when you look at the players they have now, Buck, it seems to me they could have a good 8-9 man rotation.
Oh, and that was a huge priority for them this offseason. We talked about just the sheer number of different players that they brought in either via free agency or trade. And like to watch Jermaine Johnson out there specifically, Greg, one of the guys that they acquired, he's a lot, I don't want to say stout because he's got good length, but he's just a lot. He's more physically built than I expected him to be.
Yes, he is.
If that makes sense to the audience, because you think of you think of guys on the edge, especially in a 43 defense. You're not necessarily thinking of the physical attributes that may come with a Jeffrey Simmons or another one of these guys who's more physically built on the inside. But Jermaine Johnson, I mean, you obviously see the things that made him a first round pick, both physically. Tangibly and intangibly.
And the other thing too is that D-line group is big.
Yeah.
I mean, this is not a small group.
Really good length.
Yes, yeah. And then, Johnson, I remember evaluating him coming out of Florida State. I loved him. He's had success in the league. He's just fought some injuries, obviously, but he's had success in the league. So it's interesting. And the thing, it's funny. One of the things I always do notice when I do get the opportunity to go to camp and I'm able to be close enough, as I was with Tennessee, is when the guys come off the field, I always notice, do they talk? Do they talk to each other about what they, what they're supposed to do, what they saw, what they did? And I noticed that all these guys were talking. Hey, in this situation, they were it was all football. They weren't just, coming on the side, having a drink and standing there. Yeah. They were talking. And, I think that gets instilled by a staff that, hey, this is football all the time. I mean, yeah, it's fun. You want guys to have fun. And clearly, they were having fun. You can see it. But, I mean, it's football.
And it was good back and forth on both sides. I know, we're not really here to evaluate, okay, to your point, how did they look on any given day
right.
in practice? But I thought both sessions on Tuesday and Wednesday were competitive. I thought, offense had some moments. Defense obviously had some moments. And that's better. That's a more balanced version of what they've looked like than what we've seen in OTAs, Greg, for the past, I don't know, we'll call it a month.
Now there's a couple, just real quick, couple of players on defense that I'm really fascinated. Kevin Winston, to me, has an opportunity to be a real impact player. And again, I'm not saying that based on watching, minicamp. Yeah. Just, I watched probably 7 or 8 games the year his full year prior to his last year in college when he just played the first game. And I loved his tape, and I thought that he was a legit, like kind of late first round, early second round type player, the way I saw him. Just seeing him in person up close, big kid, he's very athletic. I think that, and the way the game has changed now in the league, a safety that's an impact player is a really important player. And the other guy that I thought was a really good signing, it was Alontae Taylor. And I think that he's a guy that he's tough, he's physical, he's athletic. He's got good size. He's not small. There's a swagger and a competitiveness to his game that you love. So those are 2 players on the back end, because we know the back end a year ago, and they know it was a problem. They weren't very good.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just that's the bottom line.
They didn't have players to begin with, and then injuries just by the end. I mean, the guys they had out there at safety and corner, like by week 14, 15, it's a shell of an NFL roster.
They were street free agents, a lot of them. And then, hey, sometimes that happens, and you still got to play the games.
Yeah, I want to go back to what you said about the coaching staff and the level of communication specifically that you saw on the sideline, because I'm just now getting to know a lot of the assistant coaches, the position coaches this time of year, especially with a new staff again. And like Mark, I don't know if you got the opportunity to talk to guys like Marquand Manuel or the safeties coach or Aaron Whitecotton, the defensive line coach, but like to a man, all of these guys, you hear them. Salah's actually, he's a little more laid back than a lot of the people on the field. Even Bradley and Dable are very, very loud. You notice them on the practice field. And just this constant level of communication. But to your point, it creates that atmosphere where the players then take that to their meeting rooms, to their side conversations in the cafeteria, on the sideline, whatever that looks like. And it just creates a more seamless flow of information.
Yeah, because what you want with good teams, and this is true in any sport, is you want the players to be talking about this all the time. I mean, obviously they get coached, but then the players have to deal with it because they're the ones that have to make the actual adjustments on the field. And you want them to be talking through this. And that's what starts in the off season. That all of a sudden you don't say, well, guys, week 1, we got to talk now. I mean, all that stuff has to happen throughout the entire off-season program. That has to become ingrained and instilled to the point where it's second nature. Because look, the bottom line is, and I know there's going to be time off now, and you do hope the players do take a little time, but I actually did see a quote by Coach Saleh, which I think is a really important quote. You probably saw it too, where he said, what happens these next 40 days is really important for players. Yeah, do you want them mentally maybe to step away a little bit? Yes, but on the other hand, you don't want them to come back and having not thought about anything.
Right.
They all have their playbooks. They all have everything they need. I don't think there's a rule right? There's no rule about that. They just can't be in the building.
I think there is a rule about coaches contacting them. I think that they can reach out to coaches.
Right. They just can't be in the building and be coached,
Right.
Correct. Right. But I mean, if a young player, like if Cam Ward wants to reach out to, Brian Dable or Coach Tierney, I mean, he's allowed to, text him and say, hey, I'm looking at the playbook. I have a question. He's allowed to do that.
Yeah. It's more about, the facility and coaches and guys on the field, that kind of stuff.
Yeah. So, I just thought that was a really interesting quote by Coach Saleh, because I think that's true. Look, do you want guys maybe to just mentally just briefly take a break? Yes, but on the other hand, you don't want them to come to training camp, which I don't think starts till late July this year because the season starts late. You don't want them to come back and really not have thought about football for 40 days or whatever the number of days it is.
It's closer to 50 this year, to your point.
Crazy.
With the way, again, this is little administrative things that the audience might not be aware of, but the NFL constantly trying to stretch this thing out more, which to the fans, great, more football, everybody's happy, but it does affect the way that these guys have to physically prepare, mentally prepare, the ramp up, essentially, and what even the difference an extra week of that 40-day plus period can make in that process.
Well, this won't be a good year for wives because the Super Bowl's on Valentine's Day.
I think probably the inverse is true. I think it's going to be a good Valentine's Day for husbands.
Well, yeah. Well, first it won't be for wives, and then the husbands will be.
There will be repercussions, I'm certain. Head on a swivel come February 15th, boys. That's for damn sure.
That's right.
As far as so the defense and the way that the coaches are approaching that, Greg, obviously. Something that Robert Saleh is going to have a heavy hand in, and he was asked about the flow of communication with him and Gus Bradley. He's like, listen, we've been doing this a long time.
Gus at his core is a zone guy, so I mean it's not as if he that's one reason he gets hired. Not only is he a veteran, I got a chance didn't talk to Gus about tactics, but I did say hello because I've known him over the years. But you're dealing with two guys that are more zone-based than man-based. So, just in terms of concepts and the way they teach, I'm sure it's very similar. So it's not as if Coach Saleh has to teach Coach Bradley how are you going to teach? They've done the same thing essentially for their years in coaching.
So on the opposite side of the ball, Greg, because without having the conversation of how did they look, the things that we talked about with Cam last year versus what they're actively working on. What kind of insight did you get from your visit here and obviously seeing a little bit of Cam this week?
Let me just go back to, and we probably talked about this last year, but last year seems like a long time ago because it was. I remember in my notes, every week, because obviously I watch the Titans in detail, making notes about Cam's mechanics and his, fundamental technique in throwing a football. And I always thought that he had a tendency to sort of get too low, with his lower body. He'd get too low, and sometimes he'd lean back, almost drifting, and the 6'2" became 5'10". And a lot of that, I think, is a function of the fact that in the NFL, unlike in college, there's more people around you. In college, a lot of times he would drop back. There'd be, at the the great O-line, he'd be totally clean in the pocket. So now what you have to do is you've got to work on that so he can throw the ball straighter, with more core torque, more weight transfer instead of just kind of leaning, throwing, because he's got a big arm. I mean, just the arm in and of itself is a big arm. So in talking, to the coaches, they obviously saw the same thing I did, because they, that's what he is. So that's something that they're working on, and that has to become muscle memory. So that takes time. So, that's the kind of thing where as you go through, and now that they're done with, all the off-season work, but that's why I'm sure there's been ups and downs for Cam. I mean, I was only there for 2 days, but I'm sure, as you're there all the time. That's why I guarantee there's been ups and downs, because that has to become muscle memory. And you just got to keep working on that every single day. And I was really looking at him carefully, like, not in the team drills, because the team drills, obviously, even though you can't hit the quarterback, and there's no tackling, you still can get people around him. But I was watching him really carefully when they just were doing like the passing drills, where there's no pressures, there's no defense. And I could tell that he's really conscious of it and really working on it, of being a little more upright, throwing, so he gets, his core and his into his throws with the weight transfer, because that's the way you got to throw, so
Might not be Friday for you, but it's Friday for us. We're off tomorrow, so we figured we work in a little Friday fire today. 615-737-1045, the number. You call in, you give your moment of positivity that happened to you this week, sports, personal, professional, or otherwise, and you will have the opportunity to win today's prize. What is today's prize in the nebulous prize bucket?
We have 2 tickets to see Luke Bryan at Bridgestone Arena on September 24th.
Okay, Luke Bryan tickets, 615-737-1045. Is he still out here doing the awkward dad bod hip shake? He still doing that? Or did he leave that at La Villa? It's been a while since I've seen a Luke Bryan show.
I just know his new song is a hit, and people love it.
Sing it.
Golf and fish and climb and hunt and shoot and drive. I just want to drive my truck. I'm Luke Bryan. Have a good time. Drink a little beer. Wearing my blue jeans out on a Friday night in my truck while I'm golfing and I'm climbing trees so I can hunt.
And go to church.
And go to church.
Yeah, climbing trees.
I can't remember what it's called. Hold on.
Climbing trees.
You know, that's part of it. Hold on. Just
No,
hold
it's
on.
not. They're not talking about climbing trees.
His name's Luke Bryan, right?
Yeah,
Luke
that's right,
Bryan.
famously.
New song. All right, hold on.
My favorite Luke Bryan song is BLD.
What's that?
Familiar?
Mm-mm.
Born here, live here, die here.
Oh, God.
I'm not making that up. So anyway, great prize.
We all love it.
He puts on a good live show. I mean, I did love it in college at Panama City Beach. Or I guess I would have been like freshman year of college.
I jammed to some Luke Bryan in 2011.
Hell yeah.
I will admit.
Okay, so his new song is Fish Hunt Golf Drink.
No, it's not.
Yes, it is. Luke Bryan's new song, Fish Hunt Golf Drink, includes lyric Climb Tree, in which the lyrics go, wake up, coffee, camo, climb tree, wet line, 18 fish hunt, golf drink.
No.
I told y'all.
You know what? The next time somebody accuses us of mailing it in.
I think we should all do it together. Wake up.
Oh, wait, I don't have the lyrics. Wait.
Dude, I was not prepared.
Put it in front of us. Let's all do it together.
Fish Hunt Golf Drink is the title.
It
of the
needs to be
song.
closer.
Oh, my God.
You need to put it in the middle, in front of Lucas, so we can all do this together, because I can't really read it from here. I need readers. That's crazy.
Is that how it
Fish
goes, the way you sang
Hunt
it?
Golf
So, all right,
drink.
so I'll lead, and then you guys can pick up on the
2,
cadence.
3, 4. Wake up. Coffee, camo, climb tree, wet line, 18 fish hunt, golf drink.
This show has been interrupted by technical difficulties.
Yeah. You wish.
You can't tell me that is a good song.
Oh,
now.
that's so funny.
Like, think about
You know
all
what?
the country people that came before.
Okay, but who's the problem? Luke Bryan or the people buying that?
No, but I almost have a respect for just not even pretending to, like, be creative about it anymore.
Oh, somebody brought up the Bo Burnham song. Have you guys heard that?
No.
On the way home, y'all need to listen to Pandering. Y'all want to hear a key change? He just, like, makes fun of every country music song that's, like, obviously pandering.
Oh, that's so great.
That was my Friday Fire that we all got together to sing that song.
Well, since I'm not going to be here for karaoke, you're not going to karaoke now, right?
I know. I've realized I have a conflict, which I'm genuinely upset about.
No, I am too. I mean, I'm going to be in Europe, so I'm not that upset. But like, I would like to. I know they're going to have a great time. They don't need us to have a great time, but they're going to have a great
party.
time. It's free to attend. By the way, that's next week. What's the date on karaoke, Robert? Do you know with 3HL?
Right?
Yes. I will be singing Luke Bryan's newest song, Fish Hunt and Golf Drink.
Yeah. Okay. So you can hear that. So you heard the studio version here today. You can hear the in-person version, the live version.
Larry says AI slop made by humans.
It's funny because, like, if you're like
When we outslop the AI is crazy.
if you're the European mind, you would think that would just be 2 words: fish hunt. Okay, we call that fishing, but maybe he's trying to be creative.
Yeah.
And golf drink. Okay, so he's having a golf drink. Okay, a beer. So okay, he's just combining 2 things and making this more complicated.
Nobody has done more with less than that man. So this Friday Fire has turned into us mocking the person whose tickets we are giving.
Yeah, don't y'all want it?
Oh my God, it's so on the nose. It's like he's doing a bit.
I mean, it's like South Park wrote him a song.
Yes, exactly.
Oh my goodness! 615-737-1045.
2 tickets to see Luke Bryan at Bridgestone Arena,
Fish
September 24th.
Hunt, golf, drink. Luke Bryan. What a guy. I'm sure he's a lovely guy.
Oh, my God. Incredible songwriter.
Yes, famously. Okay, so if you want those tickets, 615-737-1045. We'll get to your phone calls a little later on. Ooh, we've got Jeff Fisher, though. I don't know how we're going to do that. We're going to have to figure that out. I didn't plan that out well. Anyway.
Let's just take the calls.
Okay, so who's up first, Zach?
We have Dalton.
Dalton, go ahead.
Dalton, if you want to win, sing the song.
Honestly, I'm not a country person that much. I honestly don't know much about Luke Bryan. I'm sorry. I apologize.
What you got?
I'm calling because actually this Saturday is me and my girlfriend's 1-year anniversary. And a couple of days ago, I went to her parents' house and I actually asked for their blessing. And this weekend, me and her are going to Jeff Ruby's Steakhouse in Nashville. And also we're going to Saudi Daisy, Tennessee to go and pick some flowers. And I'm going to ask her the big question this weekend.
Wow.
Beautiful.
So you hadn't asked it yet.
I hope she's not listening.
No, she is not. She is working right now.
All right. Hopefully her friends don't tell her.
Yeah, that's a bold strategy by
What's her
you.
name and where's she work at?
No,
her
do
general
not.
appearance?
Dalton, do not acknowledge.
Congratulations,
And does she like to wake up, coffee, camo, climb tree?
Thank
Dalton,
you.
congrats.
Congratulations.
Hope
yes.
she says yes.
Yeah. Remember to stay on hold for the opportunity to win those tickets. Jordan is up next.
Hey guys, my Friday fire is that an orange stray cat interrupts a Romeo and Juliet play in Turkey earlier this week. The cat wandered onto the stage and played with the hair of the dead Romeo lying there. This cat just needs a good home. Please adopt him.
Look up the video, Lucas. You have neither of you have seen this video because it's all over my Instagram
Where did
timeline.
this happen?
In Turkey.
Turkey.
Okay. So in Turkey, there's a performance of Romeo and Juliet. And like many other countries in the Middle East, there's an occasional stray cat that wanders around in the audience.
He's
so
cute.
they're at the scene. Robert is laughing because he's watching the video in real time. So it's the scene where Romeo is dying and Juliet is there to cradle his dead body.
Oh my goodness!
After the big conflict, and the cat is on the stage rolling around and playing with the dead Romeo, the actor's hair.
Oh my
while they're
God.
trying to, and to the actor's credit, in this scene,
stays in character.
he stays in character. She stays in character. They bring the cat out onto the stage afterwards when everybody does
my God.
their encore.
That's amazing.
They take their bow. It was it made me laugh. It was a really good one.
Oh my God, that's incredible! And then Juliet jumps on Romeo, embraces his dead body, and the cat just hops up onto one of these little tables and just sploots.
They're like, by some vile forfeit of untimely death, would yonder cat window break?
You just look up Romeo and Juliet lines.
No.
How fast did you change?
Leader in the clubhouse right there.
Very good. All right, John is in Nashville next.
Yeah, hey guys. So my
Can you sing
Friday
the song,
fire is
John?
Oh my
definitely-
God, Robert.
No, I'm not singing that terrible song because Luke Bryan is terrible.
Does nobody want these
My Friday
tickets?
fire would be that Rockstar Games announced today that pre-orders for Grand Theft Auto 5 starts next week after 13 years of waiting.
It is very upsetting.
13 years?
They have put out that game, Grand Theft Auto 4, on 2 separate consoles, maybe 3. Did it come out in PlayStation 3? Because it would be 3, 4, and then 5 of one. That is the greatest selling video game of all time. Single title, not the entire franchise. It is exciting. I am tickled for that.
All right, well, the winner has to be
It's Jordan.
Jordan.
Yeah,
Cat.
It's the Shakespeare cat. That made me happy.
I didn't ask him if he could sing it though.
No, that's okay. That's not necessary. Also, Jordan's the only one who didn't outwardly disparage Luke Bryan during the segment.
Line 18 fish hunt.
Oh God,
so great.
Yeah. So well done by Jordan. We will talk with former Titans coach Jeff Fisher in the next segment. Get his opinion, his perspective on a couple of different things. Fish was one of the people who did speak at Max Memorial Service, Coach Dave McGinnis, a couple of weeks ago, and we were very grateful to have Jeff be a part of that and to give his thoughts and to share his thoughts with the audience after Mac had passed away. So we'll look forward to former Titans coach Jeff Fisher with us coming up next. You're listening to 104.5 The Zone. Hour is upon us. We're happy to have you, and we are happy to have former Titans head coach Jeff Fisher on the show today. Nashville Cats have a huge game coming up this weekend. Coach Fish has been involved with the Arena Football League for several years now, and kind enough to make some time for us on this Thursday. Fish, how we living?
I'm doing great, man. Thanks for having me, Buck. How you guys doing on this holiday weekend? A lot of stuff going on.
Yeah, a lot of stuff going on in sports. Are you, Fish, have you ever been into the World Cup? I don't know your soccer allegiance, if any, because it's completely captivated us here the last couple of weeks.
You know, I'll tell you what, I love all sports, but you only have enough time to focus on, the one you're involved with, like I was for years. But I really started following the international soccer once, I left the organization, went to work for Stan Kroenke and the Arsenal, and I had some great conversations with Stan regarding, his enthusiasm and what he's done over there. So, I'm not following as much as I probably should right now, but I'm certainly paying attention to just what's going on around the country and the different games and, all the sidebars and the side notes of the Irish drinking all the beer out of New York and everybody loving our food, and all that kind of stuff. And then, every once in a while, I'll watch the game. Tremendous athletes, man. It is talking about the endurance, that these guys got. And, it's been fun to watch. But, I'm kind of right now, as we speak, I'm a little focused on what we got going here Saturday. It's kind of a great opportunity for the indoor football world and AF1 and our league and the matchup and all that kind of stuff. So, I'm just kind of scattered, if you will.
Yeah, relatable. I'm sure on a number of fronts. And, of course, this is a huge game coming up for the Cats this weekend. NashvilleCats.com, by the way, is where you can go and get your tickets. A game versus Albany for first place in the league and the lead for the number 1 overall seed and home field through the playoffs, Fish. So for people who haven't, obviously the Cats have had several iterations here in town, and you guys have helped bring back arena football to Middle Tennessee. Just how quickly or how surprised are you at how quickly they were able to turn this thing around into a legitimate contender, and how big is this game coming up on Saturday?
Well, I'll start with the last. The game's huge. Albany going into last weekend and won 20 straight. And last year in the Arena Crown Bowl, which is the final bowl game of AF1, Albany beat the Cats in Albany. I don't know, 62-58, something like that. And it was a great game. But Albany, up until last week, was undefeated. They got knocked off. And so we got the Cats, hosting the Albany Firebirds, up in F&M Bank Arena at 4 o'clock on Saturday for first place. And, there's 3 or 4 games left, and there's some bye weeks here and there and things like that. But this could really be meaningful with respect to having home field advantage throughout the playoffs, meaning that we would have our playoff run up in Clarksville at F&M Bank Arena. So we've got good things happening around the league. The league itself is in the process of expanding. We've got a number of investment groups that want to put more teams around the country. And so, it's just an ongoing thing. I never would have thought. I mean, when I got into it in just one of those helping modes. Anybody knows me, I'd kind of like to help football here wherever I can and give back, because I've been so blessed throughout my career, especially with the Oilers and the Titans organization. So give back wherever you can. I started helping out. I wasn't going to coach, wasn't going to do anything. I was just going to listen and maybe put people in contact with one another. And now I'm the commissioner of AF1. So great people. We've got a lot of good help and a promising future in this league.
Jeff Fisher here with us on 104.5 The Zone. As you mentioned, the Cats have a huge game coming up this weekend. You can get your tickets at NashvilleCats.com. Mike Keith is going to be involved. He's the Cats captain. He's going to sign autographs, take some pictures with fans. He'll be out there for the ceremonial coin toss, so that'll be cool as well, beyond just seeing a great indoor arena football game. As far as your involvement and then becoming commissioner, Fish, to your point, you start to just help get people involved, get people connected, like you mentioned, and then at some point it had to be the process of this and helping put the league back on the map had to have been rewarding enough for you to want to take on more of that full-time role.
The bottom line, it was really pretty simple. I really never attended an indoor game, even when the Cats were rolling. You brought up Mike Keith. When Bud Adams owned the team, Mike Keith was doing the play-by-play.
Right.
And so, there's a lot going on in the backyard. A lot of times I'd walk into the indoor facility there and, just to try to regroup and stretch and get some exercise. The weather was bad and there was a football team in there practicing and I didn't pay much attention to it. And so, when I got into it for this reason. I attended a game, early on and I watched the family environment, the intimacy, the fact that, the kids are standing around the wall, the dasher boards, and they're reaching out, and the players are high-fiving them and all that. It's an intimate game, and there were, in the league, when I got into it at the time, there were some, in this world, storied franchises. I mean, you had a couple in Kansas, you got a couple here, and, this was the only game in town, and there was some stuff going on where people weren't necessarily truthful. And I wasn't going to stand behind the deception, so we just started cleaning it up, and then one thing led to another, and here I am. So, but really excited. It's keeping me busy. I had 3 of my grandkids up, Julie and the grandkids up last week for the game, and boy, they just loved it, And so, the participation and attendance has been great. I think the show's great. Last week was Predators Night, and we had Nash up there and he brought the place down, and so, I mean, it was a great evening, and we're going to duplicate it. This is kind of tight. We had Derek Mason and Kevin Dyson up a few weeks ago as honorary captains. And so we're kind of including everybody in it, and everybody's having a great time with it.
No, it certainly seems like it. NashvilleCats.com, Cats versus Firebirds going down on the 20th, Saturday, for first place in AF1 and playoff positioning on the line. Jeff Fisher, kind enough to tell us a little bit more about what's going on with the Cats. Coach, I always good to see you. Under the circumstances for Mac's memorial service a couple of weeks ago, it's good to get together and remember. You always struggle to say, well, it's good to see people at a thing like that, but it genuinely was so nice to see so many familiar faces and all sharing great memories, and always appreciate everything that you're doing for the local community, especially there with AF1. Appreciate you making some time today.
Well, thanks so much, and thanks for bringing up everybody's best friend. If you knew Mac for 5 minutes, you were his best friend, and I still think about it. I mean, I wake up in the morning and, he'd come up to the cabin summertime during this break, between, the end of the OTAs and the mini camps before camp started. And we're heading that way. And the memories that we had, and, we just miss them. But I thank the Titans for their generosity and their willingness to celebrate Mac's life over there. And he will never be forgotten. He was special to everybody.
Absolutely. That's Jeff Fisher with us on 104.5 The Zone. Enjoy the game, Fish. We appreciate the time. We'll catch up again soon.
It. Be safe. Enjoy the weekend. Thank you, everybody.
Yes, sir. That's Coach Jeff Fisher with us on 104.5 The Zone. If I wasn't out of town, Greg Pogue was kind enough to offer us a number of Cats tickets, Robert. We need to take them up on that at some point. I've never been to an arena football league. I'm doing an indoor football league game for Yahoo here in a couple of weeks. But I've never been to an arena league game.
Well, Greg, you can slide in my DMs, and I would happily go to a Cats game. We don't need Buck to have fun. You could bring me out there, and I get the Cats going, and just row, and we'd get after it.
Oh, so you want to be what Mike Keith is doing, the Cats captain?
The captain?
The captain.
I'm down with that. I would love to be the captain. I love Settlers of Catton. I'm upset you didn't ask him to sing the Luke Bryan song with us.
Yeah, I'm not going to do that.
Before he left. I mean, I feel like Jeff would he likes hunting and fishing. I don't know how he feels about climbing.
He golfs.
And probably good at drinking.
Yeah. Don't assume.
Yeah. Well, I mean, like he's a grown man.
What is good at drinking? You probably think you're good at drinking. Well, there's a good at consuming. People in the comment section saying, I live in Clarksville, went to the game last week and was fun as hell. crowd gets to be involved a lot more compared to the NFL. And some other people in the comment section saying I'm missing out on indoor football, or rather arena football, AF1 with the Nashville Cats. Yeah, I never got to see the Cats in their original iteration. So at some point, we will absolutely prioritize getting up to Clarksville for a game. 615-737-1045, the number. We are broadcasting out here today at Circa Sportsbook in Franklin, Kentucky, Robert, where they have a special offer for people right now, yes?
They do, yeah. All you've got to do is come in here to Franklin, Kentucky, go to the sports book, go to the sports desk. You can't go to the kiosk and get this. You go down there, you place a wager of $50 or more on soccer, and you will be entered into a raffle to win 2 tickets to Nashville versus Miami soccer experience on August 15th. And me and Lucas were talking about that's a sought-after ticket. They cost a pretty penny. So for $50, you could have a chance, just shooting crabs in a barrel. Go ahead and come down here and just throw your rod in. I need to go fishing, man. I miss being home.
You can't go fishing here?
I can, yeah, but I need.
There's people fishing in Amulet Lake outside the Titans facility, and I'm always wondering if those fish don't have like some kind of radiation or something.
Or like arms and legs.
Yeah.
No, I would just need to go get a fishing license, but I also don't have any of my rods here. All my rods are at my dad's house, so I would need to find some rods and then find somebody who'd want to fish with me. And does anybody want to fish with me? I'm just trying to. Where's that damn song at? I'm just trying to wake up, coffee, cam. How many of these would I actually like to do? Wake up, no. Coffee,
never.
Coffee's cool. Yeah. I want. What's that Evanescence song? I want to die here. Camo. I'm cool with camo. Coffee's okay. Climbing trees is in my older age. When I was younger, hell, I could climb just about any tree you saw. Wet line, I would like to go fishing. 18, that's usually necessary. Oh, he's talking about golf. Golf is fine. I like riding the cart more.
That's usually necessary.
Fish, hunt, golf, drink. I'm cool with all of those last 4.
You've never asked me to go fishing with you.
You wouldn't like any aspect of fishing. You would not.
We have a stocked pond at my parents' house. I go fishing all the time.
Okay, all I needed to know was that it is a stocked pond.
Oh, is it on their property?
It's fishing.
Kirby makes a great point. I wouldn't have to have a license if it's on your property. Stocked fishing.
Not that we'd ever have cause to go to Evansville other than the casino, but like Mount Rising, not a bad place. You'd have a big time up there.
I wouldn't be upset with it. I just think it takes some of the sport out of it. It's like going on a paid deer hunt, and they're like, "Oh yeah, we got all the deer in this fenced-in."
I'd rather do that than what deer hunting actually is. The last time I went deer hunting, I sat in a tree for 4 hours. Almost shot a couple of squirrels because I got like jump scared by them because I had one of those tree climber. We weren't in like a stand. I had one of those tree climber chairs
where you have to like raise your legs.
Oh my God!
Pop your feet in, raise your.
If
butt.
you ever wanted a reason to not take me deer hunting again, make my ass climb a tree.
No, see that's the mistaken part about hunting. If you go out there with the mindset of I got to bring back something,
I'm here to kill something.
Yeah, if you go out there like that, you have a high probability of being disappointed. But if you go out there and say no one can tell me anything. I'm high up in this tree.
With a gun in my hand.
With a gun in my hand. No one can talk to me. No one can call me. No one can text me. No one can tell me something's late. No one can tell me anything. It's just me out here watching things. And you go, what the hell's that squirrel doing? What does he think he's... Oh, there's another one. You think they know each other?
See, you don't have to have a... Do you have to have a permit to shoot animals? Well, that's probably not the way to phrase that.
You have to have a hunting license.
A hunting license if it's your property?
There wouldn't be a reason for a game warden to come on. I mean, there would have to be probable cause, but yeah. By the letter of the law, probably.
Because you could... Because theoretically, I mean, they hunt and fish on my parents' property.
Well, Indiana, of course, is a different state than here.
Sure.
And I'm not familiar with Indiana laws.
I should probably know
when
this.
I was a kid, within deer season, we could hunt on our own property. We could fish on our own property. In fact, in Tennessee back then, to fish from the bank with like night crawlers, as long as you weren't using artificial bait, you didn't have to have a license. If you were, again, standing on the bank, throwing one out there. If you were in a boat, you had to have a license. If you were fishing for trout or other specific fish, and you would have to have a deer stamp.
Okay.
But
I think it's different too if you have like a farm. My buddy,
my
daddy's
got a farm. He gets up and has cow.
Sound like damn righteous gemstones. My daddy
had a degradation permit and for his soybean field, so you could shoot deer year round if you had a degradation permit. Like if you could prove the deer, yes, if they were destroying your crops.
I see. Okay. Well, maybe I don't know. I don't know that we could definitely take you to the casino for a weekend if we ever decided that we wanted a casino weekend in Evansville, Indiana. You can stay at Mount Rising and shoot animals off the front porch and fish if you want to.
Me and Rick.
One of the first times he took me out shooting, because like I think they're on 25 acres or something like that. So like you go shoot on the property and stuff like that. And I had never shot a double barrel shotgun before.
So you didn't know kick.
And not even a kick, but they like this is a shotgun that I think Rick's son, my stepbrother, had given him at some point. He'd restored it. He does a lot of woodwork for a living. He did a lot of woodwork in their house, actually. Does a really good job.
He likes working with wood.
Yeah, something like that. So he restores this double barrel shotgun. I think it's from like the 40s or something like that. It's got the 2 triggers on it.
Oh yeah.
Which I was completely unfamiliar. So my stepdad, one of the first times he takes me out, is like, "Hey, why don't you take a spin on that one and see how you like it?" But did not tell me, and I don't think intentionally, that you were not supposed to pull both triggers on the double barrel shotgun at the same time. I'm like, "Oh, okay."
And you went
fire. When I tell you, I almost dislocated my shoulder with that thing. It's like holding a cannon.
They're impressive.
Larry on YouTube said this just turned into Buck Rising Outdoors with Buck and Bird. I mean,
you can do that. If y'all want to get redneck,
there was a time in my life when we do more redneck stuff, but now we don't live that way anymore.
Yeah, they've tossed us out. They don't want us to be rednecks anymore. Anybody wants to fish, let me know. I'm trying to fish.
Multiple people have now told you they want to fish. I think you're just looking for an excuse to not go fishing.
Someone tell me they love me.
Okay, 615-737-1045, the number. Marcus Harris is in the competition for the Titans' third corner, nickel corner. Looking at a number of different options that the Titans have brought in. Second-year player out of Cal. He's got an interesting story and how he got to the pros. You'll hear from Marcus Harris coming up next. The Tennessee Men's Clinic is here to help you if your energy's off, if things aren't working like they used to. You're not alone. Happens to a lot of guys as you get up there in age, as your body starts to change. And that's what the Tennessee Men's Clinic, powered by Men's Pro, is here to help you do. They have 4 locations now in Middle Tennessee. Most recently, their Murfreesboro location just opened. So that's downtown Franklin, Clarksville, and the borough, there to serve you through that process, because a lot of things do happen as your body ages. You start to change. Some things don't have to be inevitable, and that's what the Tennessee Men's Clinic is here to help you with, because you're working with true medical providers that will run labs and build a plan around you, not some one-size-fits-all type of deal. They treat low performance, ED, weight loss, and even peptides like NAD+. Their treatments have worked for thousands of men, and most guys say they wish they would have come in sooner. Right now, lab panel and consultation, just $99. So call 615-208-9090. That's 615-208-9090, or visit them online at TennesseeMen'sClinic.com. We're hanging out here with Marcus Harris, Titans defensive back, after the final day of mandatory minicamp. The offseason always goes so fast, but I have to imagine that you guys haven't got your feet under you last year, really enjoying the second time around.
Yeah, it's been great the second time around, just having full off season to focus more on football and not combine training. So I think it's been a good time, a second time.
How comfortable, how much more comfortable are you, given that you don't have to worry about the pre-draft and all these different things that are going on leading into the season? You can get your mind focused on the things that actually apply to your position, learning the playbook, all these different things.
Yeah, it's been great being able to actually focus on football this time, not worrying about running the 40 or doing position drills or things like that. So it's been a good second off season, and looking forward to finishing it up and starting training camp.
Your journey through college is kind of crazy. Yeah. Oregon State, now preferred walk-on, right?
Right.
Preferred walk-on, then to Idaho, then to Cal.
Right.
That, I mean, I know that's become more and more common as we've gotten into NIL and the transfer portal, but that, can you kind of walk me through? I know that's a long time to kind of summarize, but just for the audience that may not be familiar with your journey and all the different things that you had to go to get to this point.
Yeah. So went to high school, Grant High School in Portland, Oregon. Didn't have any scholarships coming out. Got a preferred walk on. So Oregon State, and chose to go there. Went there for about a year and a half, and then after that decided to enter the portal, and I had an offer to Arkansas Pine Bluff and then the University of Idaho, and I chose Idaho because it was closer to home, not too far away, and then was there for 3.5 years, had a lot of success, and then for my final year decided to go back up to the Power 5 level, or at that time the Power 4. And I chose Cal.
Depends on the day, Power 4, Power 5. It's
right.
exhausting to keep up.
I chose Cal, and then now I'm here. So it was a long journey, but it was worth it.
That season at Cal, man, you played in one of the craziest games I think that college football season had. That game against Miami, against Cam and Restrepo. You had Mendoza quarterback.
Right.
Kind of a crazy situation. What do you remember about that game? Because y'all had it basically the entire way through, and all of a sudden Cam goes nuclear. I think he had 21 points in the fourth quarter.
Yeah. I mean, I think that's the biggest thing I remember is just how loud it got, then how quiet it got.
Yeah.
But just, I don't know, that evening, that night, because it was a college game day, sold out game, and it was just, the atmosphere was amazing. And then, I mean, we came up short, obviously, but I think just playing in that game just helped me get ready for big games.
Obviously, you want to win, but as a competitor, I mean, that back and forth has to be electric.
Yeah, no, the competitive nature was good. That's my second time playing against Cam in college.
Yeah. Because the first time was Wazoo, right?
Wazoo versus Idaho, correct. And that was a one-score game as well. So I knew he was a competitor and it was going to come down to the wire. I knew they were a good team. I think they were ranked 3 in the country at that time.
Just barely, because they like survived Virginia Tech, I want to say, the week before, and then you guys had them dead to rights.
Exactly, but it was a fun game, definitely fun game to play in. A lot of memories, things like that.
Did you think that at the time you were playing in a game that would feature 2 number 1 overall picks at quarterback?
Not at all. Not at all. A lot of people ask me about that with Fernando. I mean, Fernando's always been good.
I went to Indiana, so he's like kind of, not to get sacrilegious or anything like that, but he's kind of like a holy figure at this point.
Yeah. But then to see him pop off, it was great to see him take those strides to become the quarterback he is now, number 1 overall pick, Heisman, national champion. It was been
for you. You're talking about your journey through college and getting here as a 6th round pick, and then getting the opportunities, many opportunities as you've had. How have you attacked this off season?
Just the same way I've attacked any off season, coming from starting in college, just getting better at the things I need to in order to be the best player I can. Whether it's small things or big things, and then paying attention to more detailed things. And just the small details that I figured out is what matters. And then building just 1% each day in order to get to where I need to.
So when you look at, I don't know that you guys do too much revision, right? When it's this time of year and you're constantly looking forward to the next opportunity, you got to stay in your playbook, all these things that you got to do for 40 days before you come back, and training camp, obviously, with the training wheels kicked off, for lack of a better term. You get a lot of questions this time of year from us about competition, position groups and stuff like that. But every day for you guys is basically a competition.
Right.
It's for the audience that may not understand the nature of that.
Yeah.
How would you describe how you guys balance that in the room? having that competitive nature, but still, making sure that everybody's on the same level as far as teammates, camaraderie, those kind of things.
Yeah, I think when you look at the room, you're only as strong as, I guess, your weakest link, you could say. So, everyone needs to come along no matter who it is, matter if it's an undrafted guy or the top guy, first round pick. We all need to come along and be able to compete day in and day out, because if they're not able to do their job at practice, then it takes more reps on, I guess, the guys who are starters or running more reps. So I think we all just need to be able to do our job, so we bring each other along in that way. And then I think it's just in our competitive nature as DBs to just go out there and ball. So that's all we want to do.
As far as, because I asked you did the podium, I guess that was last week, if I remember correctly, and we had gotten the opportunity to talk to your guys' nickel coach. It's the first time that we've had or covered a designated nickel coach here. How does the dynamic work in the meeting room when you've got three guys who are all able to answer your questions, but kind of running different parts of the show?
Yeah, I think just being able to get different point of views about the same thing has helped. If I'm hearing it one way from Sala or Gus, and then I'm hearing it one way from T.O., and then I'm hearing it another way from my nickel coach, it's just more information for me to get that job done. So it's been great having that many people be able to help me, knowing the importance of the position on the field.
Does the room feel? You got a lot of different folks coming in this year all across the board, whether it be the defensive line, the secondary. What's kind of do you feel a change as far as the atmosphere with all the new pieces and parts coming in?
Yeah, it's definitely a different energy. I think anytime there's new change, you can either be unsure about it or you can attack at full speed. And I think we've gelled together over this offseason and attacked at full speed in order to be the best we can. As a defense, as a team.
What's the first move this offseason? You getting out of town anywhere? You going anywhere fun?
Just head back out west to Portland, spend some time with my family.
Beautiful this time of year, I have to imagine.
Yeah, enjoy that while I can a little bit, and then get back to training shortly.
Marcus, I so appreciate the time, and enjoy the offseason before we get back here for training camp.
Perfect. Thank you.
Man.
Thank you.
All right. That is Titans corner Marcus Harris heading into his second year. Talking to him about that. Do you remember that Cal Miami game? So it's Cam Ward for Miami.
Yeah, crazy comeback.
Mendoza on the other side. They have game day at Cal, ACC matchup.
9 p.m. Central kickoff.
You've got undefeated Miami having survived, I think, Virginia Tech. They needed like a penalty or something like that. There was a call that gave them basically a win against Virginia Tech the week prior, and they barely survived that Cal game because they're down by like 25 the entire game.
Something crazy. Reese Davis had no voice. Poor Reese Davis was just fighting for his life. And then the comeback starts, and you just know he had this sinking feeling of like, I got to call this comeback, and it's going to be everywhere.
21 fourth quarter points for the Miami offense, and one of Cam Ward's better performances. You got to be just kick. Marcus Harris playing in a game with, at the time, you had no idea, 2 future number 1 overall picks.
Yep.
With Mendoza at Cal before he ultimately transferred to Indiana. His story is an interesting guy, but like his transfer situation, he was one of the ones where you watch the highlights that they show of them when they're covering them during the draft, right? And all of a sudden it's the same kid, but he's in 3 different jerseys wearing a couple of different numbers because he's played for Oregon State, Idaho, and then finishes at Cal for the final season of his eligibility. That's not somebody who's transferring all over the place for NIL or for all these different financial reasons or because they're a highly touted prospect. Like the fact that many of those stories still exist of guys having to just basically use different programs as a way to filter up to the NFL and still finding a way to get to the NFL. Like, that's a pretty crazy trajectory. And to hear him talk about that, I thought that was pretty insightful.
He may have to play a big role for this team.
Yeah.
What? Are you laughing at Kirby's yawn?
Just the
It was a loud yawn. That yawn had some decibels.
It's like Lucas's burp.
It's like that's like the type of yawn that you want everybody to know in the room that you are incredibly bored by this conversation.
So are we. Don't worry, it's almost over. I think we did half of the show actually today.
That was a performative yawn.
Okay, we'll wrap up the show. We'll talk about what's going on in New York. We've got World Cup to update you on. Maybe even get you ready for the U.S. men's national team.
Robert has thoughts.
Oh, boy, do I. Also, some incredible video coming out from the Knicks parade. I'll share
I'm
with
sure.
you guys in the break.
I'm Buck Rising. It's 104.5 The Zone. Welcome back to the show, fueled by Hattie B's Hot Chicken, the best hot chicken in the world. Get you updated on some polls before the end of the show, and then we're done for the week.
Some World Cup people agree that it's the best hot chicken in the world.
Oh, yes, we're getting international feedback on Hattie B's Hot Chicken, finally, because we're not hosting World Cup matches, but Dallas, is there anything going on in Vegas?
No. Vegas is not a host
That's
city.
kind of a surprise.
Vegas is not a host city.
Vegas too dirty for FIFA, huh?
I don't know. I don't know if they submitted a bid.
Maybe not.
I don't recall.
I don't remember where things were with Allegiant Stadium at the time.
But yeah, this Scottish fan who I suppose stopped through Nashville.
It looks like BNA.
Yes, tweeted, Hattie B's fried chicken. Had so many American people reply to me saying to try it out. Was so good I got it twice. Best chicken I've ever had. Can't think of anything in the UK that compares. Heartbreak emoji as he thinks about having to go back to a land
uncultured
with no Hattie B's hot chicken.
Can I have more gray blob, mother? Would you like some green mush to go with that? How about some brown sauce?
It's beans on toast.
And mushy peas.
Beans on toast and mushy peas.
So, yes, the Scots, who are drinking America dry,
certainly drank Boston dry,
have discovered Hattie B's hot chicken.
The fact that they allegedly would have quadrupled the amount of beer that is normally sold in Boston on St. Patrick's Day.
Yeah.
Not on
like it's a crisis.
Not an average weekend.
Bars are literally running out of booze.
The number of bars that said this is the best weekend we have ever had. Like, it's got to be nice to feel that way, but then also, we'll never make this much money again. We will never make this much money again.
I mean, how long? 94 was the last one that was here?
Yeah.
Go, Bafana! No! At the 83rd minute.
Let's go. South Africa. I thought they were done and dusted.
Every time they had an opportunity to score, it's like they just piddled it away with bad touch, but there.
The penalty kick is what got it going.
Oh, you have soccer analysis, don't you?
I do, man. What do you want to know?
All right, what's the key here? The U.S. started hot against Paraguay. They electrify the nation, 4-1 the final, and now they're trying to sustain against Australia. What's the key here for the U.S. to go to the top of the group and essentially secure their spot in the knockout rounds with 3 points?
Yeah, this was trouble for me to figure out at first, but when I really thought about it and how the matchup lines up for Australia, I feel like it's the counter press.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously, the onus is going to be on the U.S. to impose their will and break down like the low block, but Australia has the pace to threaten that, and in those spaces behind the counterattack is much more dangerous, way more dangerous than Paraguay.
Yeah, no, I agree. I mean, who is the threat, though? When
you just have to read your own prompt.
Will you be quiet? when you look at where Australia can threaten you in behind if the U.S. does get caught out in possession.
Iran Kunda. That's who I'm worried about.
What did you just say?
Iran Kunda. You don't know no story Iran Kunda?
Be careful.
I'm telling you, that guy alone is going to be a nightmare for Tim Ream to deal with as he's trying to defend in space.
Yeah, I agree. Tim Ream, 40 years old. That does feel like the spot where the U.S. could be susceptible. But what is the latest on Christian Pulisic? Okay, well, I know the latest. He's day-to-day. So let's say Christian Pulisic does not play. I'll be surprised if he doesn't. But let's say he doesn't play. What's the best course of action at that point?
I think the most realistic option they have would be to push Weston McKennie up to that attacking midfield spot and bring in Sebastian Berhalter as the 6. And the issue there is neither of your defensive midfielders are going to give you a ton moving forward, but I think Berhalter's engine and set-piece delivery makes him valuable in that role, and we know McKinney's a value as a playmaker. I mean, it's obvious to everybody. All of them are still going to have to work as a cohesive unit, though. I mean, and that's what I'm learning. Soccer is not just a one-man driven. It's about positioning. It's about touch. It's about placement. So they're going to have to do that as well.
Wow, just incredible. And he's learned so much in a week's time.
Yes, it's almost like it's pre-written.
That's how good it is. It almost seems that way.
My biggest question is when the U.S. loses the ball. I mean, it has to counter-press aggressively and win it back before Australia has the chance to catch them off balance. Who's the cat, the outside winger, that is just so fast for Australia? Put Turkey on skates last week.
Oh, you've already said his name.
Oh, yeah, that's who I meant, but I wanted you to say it.
You're the expert.
I wanted you to say it because I wasn't.
Yes, expert. Please regale us in your wealth of soccer.
Okay, well, of course, this game could absolutely call for Gio Reyna to bring in Zendaya, but if the U.S. is having trouble finding those spaces in the attack,
Wow. What name was he supposed to pronounce?
It's Alejandro Zendejas, okay?
But I call him Zendaya.
That's what he said.
I'm not allowed to come up with nicknames for people?
No.
I'm not allowed to I'm not allowed to dig Zendaya? All you need to know is the soccer poos are going down this week. That's all you need
Aren't
to know.
they the Socceroos?
Not tomorrow, they're not.
You can't see that I'm saying that they are poo. That they're You know what Australia?
Well, they're marching through American streets calling the president a pedophile, so you're going to have to come up with better smack talk than that.
Well, their whole country was literally prisoners from England, and they dropped them there so they could die on a hot rock full of scorpions. So, I mean, if they want to talk, they can talk about whatever the hell they want to talk about. Now, smack the hell out of them.
So the U.S. and Australia tomorrow, and local watch party at Centennial?
Centennial Park is the official Nashville SC watch party, but walk by any sports bar and you'll see a mass of humanity taking it in, watching the U.S. of A.
It's going to be cool.
Let's go, man. I mean, they had one of the best performances of the first round of group stage games.
Who would have been considered a better performance than the U.S.'s 4-1 win over Paraguay?
England yesterday.
Yeah, that
Croatia.
was awesome.
A better opponent as well. Croatia semifinalists, each of the last 2 World Cups, finalists 2 World Cups ago, and England just broke them down. But before you get excited about England, wait for them to play outside, because they were in Jerry World yesterday. Jerryville. It was air conditioned. The conditions were nice. Wait for them to play in 78-degree heat and watch them fall apart.
78. You know how lovely 78-degree weather feels.
Oh, it's boiling. It's boiling. I can't do it, Gaffer.
That was almost as offensive as Robert trying to do any accent. What's going on with the Spanish national team? Why are they having to train with ice in their vests in Chattanooga?
They can't handle it,
No,
man.
it's hot as hell in Spain.
They
What are we
can't-
doing?
I know. Yeah, that seems odd. They can't handle the heat. They can't handle it. This is our time. Portugal with a washed-up Cristiano Ronaldo out there. Spain and England crumbling under the heat. This is the United States time.
I'm sure you talked about that Messi performance.
God,
what
God
was Messi?
tier.
What was Messi about it?
Not a thing.
Yeah,
Not for him.
It was super clean.
Just watching greatness. Watching greatness is fun.
It was awesome.
It's fun.
It was awesome. Yes, Kirby Pele.
Hey, listen, I appreciate that. That when we say Messi's the GOAT, Kirby say no, Pele's the GOAT. I appreciate that.
What Robert is doing to you is what what Kirby is doing to you is what Robert enjoys doing to Kirby, which is saying that you've said something blasphemous about like the Beatles and then scurrying away.
I didn't say anything blasphemous about the Beatles.
Lucas did. Lucas said the best thing that ever happened to that band was when Yoko Ono joined. Lucas said he loved the silent squalls.
I've
that
always
she added
said
in the background.
Ringo is the most talented Beatle.
And of course, well, the second most talented. The most talent was always with Yoko, mostly running down her legs.
No, what I had said was at the Combine was that I just never really got into Paul McCartney's solo catalog all that much. That's all I said.
Yeah, you can keep adding
And
caveats.
Robert tried to turn it into Beatles slander.
You did. You said they should have been called the cockroaches because they just won't die. Like, how many times can you jump through strawberry fields?
His exact words were, and I quote, "I've never been impressed with Paul McCartney."
That's not what I said.
And that's where we went off the rails.
That's not what happened.
We all witnessed it over lettuce wraps.
Yep, and that's when you started touting Cher's extensive catalog and saying that Cher and Madonna had
Cher into
I was about to say, what are you denigrating Cher and Madonna for?
You brought them up and said that their catalogs were more extensive than the Beatles, and that if they would form a superwoman group, Cher Donna, then it would have been ridiculously overpowered.
Cher Donna.
Cheradonna. Cher.
That's Maradona. It's pronounced Maradona.
Oh.
Yeah, rest his soul.
Love you, Mary Donna.
Okay.
Who was she?
Let's do a few polls and get the hell out of here for the day and for the week.
Did you do polls?
Mercifully, I did, like 20 minutes ago.
Heck yeah. Whoa.
Attaboy. Can you stop unscrewing things with this desk?
Jesus.
This is a very nice studio that they let us in, and you are literally dismantling things.
Lucas's piercing.
I'm taking this with
Put it under your shirt. You'll look like Ryan Day. Do it right now.
It's Ryan Day have his
the internet is alleging that Ryan Day has pierced nipples.
Look it up. Presented by Two Rivers Ford, the South's most trusted Ford dealer. Which one? Fish, hunt, golf, or drink? Tied for the lead. Golf and drink are even at 38.7%. I thought drink would win in a landslide.
I did too.
Fish
It's an
is
upset.
third. Hunt got the fewest votes.
Yeah, I think that's fair. Luke Bryan, famously, just putting in the yeoman's work to make sure that he can produce high-level musical content.
What's your level of optimism about the United States against Australia tomorrow? Majority say high, 48%.
You should have said on a level of 1 to patriotic.
I
Are you feeling patriotic? Because I'm feeling pretty stinking patriotic.
You should be after a 4-1 win against Paraguay. Australia, we didn't really get into. I mean, I suppose Robert's faux soccer analysis.
It wasn't a foe.
well, yeah.
I thought I laid out what the foe was doing pretty well.
How far do the Australians expect to make it? That one hit me late.
That's pretty good.
It was not your worst today.
No, I mean, they're going to be a heightened version of what Paraguay is. They want to sit deep. They're going to be physical. They're going to get in the U.S.'s face. They're going to probably foul a lot. But they are a team that are happy if they can get out of the group and cause some trouble for somebody in the knockout rounds. Christian Pulisic, everything revolves around him day-to-day with the calf injury. I think he's going to play, but we'll see. Which Titans coach gives you the most optimism? Robert Saleh, Brian Dable, Carmen Brasillo, or Aaron Whitecotton? Vast majority, Brian Dable. And that is the answer, right?
Yeah, I think. Listen, I think Brasillo's a good coach that's going to have to make chicken salad with chicken. At this point, yeah. So you're going to need him to do probably the heaviest lift of any of those four coaches. But Dable's going to be the one that wins the majority opinion.
I wish you put Greg Lewis on there.
What's your affinity for Greg Lewis?
He left Baltimore to come here to this place.
Enjoy your trip.
Thank you.
Hopefully Spain doesn't completely collapse and pee down their leg while you're there.
Hey,
That'd be a shame.
You think that atmosphere is going to be tense as hell during that game? I mean, for every game after.
They are going to be clenched.
I can't believe they. Was it? It's not Curacao.
Cape Verde.
Cape Verde. Yep. Cape Verde, and their 40-year-old goalie.
Yeah.
Unbelievable. I'm off to Europe. You got Lucas and Robert next week. I'll see you guys on the 29th.